so many people don't do that. And then they wake up and they're 50 and they're, hundreds of thousands of dollars short of where they need to be. Like as much as you need to invest in your business, you do have to pay attention to like money coming in eventually and building an income stream or a dividend stream or whatever it is that you use to, you want to use to build that wealth.
I'm jazzed right
intro
now.
music.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah.
I should have asked you what your walk-up song is.
Yeah. Like when Dion, he's like, there you go. What did he say?
Deion Sanders?
Yeah.
No clue.
It says something, my walk-up music. And then they play it.
He's a stud, dude. He's a stud. People hate him, but he's a stud. Anyways, welcome to the show, guys. I'm Drew. Paulo here. We are the two Stunads. If you have not seen our podcast before, we are entrepreneurs, business owners, talk about sales, marketing, personal development, wealth creation. Today is our interview segment. We have a phenomenal guest with you guys today. College athlete, stud, great father. You wouldn't believe he's 40 years old, but man.
He went there.
We're going to have a great time today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. The only fee that we charge is that you share the show, whether you like us or not. We pay for this 100% to give back to the community, give back to the young entrepreneurs, help you guys out. So without further ado, Eric Esch, welcome to the show, man.
Welcome, Eric.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah. Pumped to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you look like you're 30 but you're 40?
Dude,
I don't know.
Genetics.
I mean, do you get those ads on Instagram
Not
or
my
like
drinking habits, I can tell you that.
I get those ads too, like, use this. Did you guys get those?
Oh, the cream.
On Instagram? Yeah, dude.
You know what?
Mario Lopez. Am I the only one
Those
getting
are some
targeted
dimples
here?
he's got. He's got some nice dimples.
Joe Rogan, I think, is going over it too.
AG1? He uses AG1 a lot.
I don't know. I don't do. Do you guys use lotion? I don't do any lotion.
No,
I'm a lotion guy.
Are you
That's
really?
the problem,
There you go.
dude.
You need to get some lotion.
That's
in your life.
Are you like a bar soap guy? Or are you like what do you do?
I don't really use
you
it.
Dove, or do you use
I have the sponge thing and
The loofah?
The loofah, yeah.
Wait, you don't got a loofah?
I got a loofah,
guy's a bar soap
but I'm
guy?
a bar
What do you
soap
do?
guy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Dove.
Dial it in, baby.
No, I'm not
Irish
that
spring.
long. I'm not. Yeah, I go with the Dove, the moisturizer, whatever, and then I use my wife's shampoo and conditioner. She uses the Moroccan oil.
Moroccan
Shit's
oil.
expensive.
Yeah,
man.
I know it is.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah.
No.
But you got to throw a little lotion on, before bed. That's what it is. Yeah.
The face stuff, lotion, I don't know. I don't like that lotion on my face.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's me.
I mean, it looks good.
I got the wrinkles on the
great-looking
forehead
guy.
for sure, dude.
We're going to talk about this today, but like sometimes you got to do things that, you don't want
That's
to.
very true. That's very true.
Let's go.
Like and subscribe if you like that nugget right there, guys.
Yeah.
We can end the show right there, actually.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's the
Cut
best
it.
part.
Cut
Everyone
it.
just stop watching. No, man. But yeah, appreciate you coming on. You're definitely one of my good friends. We've worked together, not only on business side, but you as a patient too, and go from there. But without further ado, we want to do for all of our guests, give them a formal intro. So Paul's going to tee us up here and we'll get into it.
Yeah. So Eric Esch, first of all, pleasure meeting you.
Yeah.
Awesome that you're here. Thanks so much. I'm excited to dive in. From what I understand, you own your insurance agency. You got one in Arlington Heights. Started all the way back since 2012 out in Glenview. Yeah, Glenview. And, you've grown, from what I understand, 6 licensed pros helping you out.
Yeah, 6 in each office.
That's big, dude. So what is it? It's across Chicagoland, life insurance, homeowners insurance.
Yep.
What else? Business insurance, right?
Yeah, basically anything insurance and financial related, we're doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And a big part of the community too, right? You do a lot of supporting with the local park districts, right? The Humane Society, right? So that's awesome stuff. Love to hear that, you're, not only are you doing your own thing, right? You're also giving back, which is a common theme that we see with a lot of people that we're interviewing. So, thriving from what I understand.
Yeah,
so
trying to.
Love it.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I feel bad about myself not doing enough over here, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus, there.
Take some notes. Take some
God
notes.
bless.
Yeah.
So I want to just start with so we said college athlete. Let's kind of start there, I guess.
Sure,
Or where you
go ahead,
grew up.
man.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
Where'd
Are you a
school?
local kid? Did you grow up in the Chicago area?
No. I grew up what people would say downstate, when it's really about central Illinois, Bloomington, Illinois.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep. And then I played high school football, high school baseball, and I ended up playing D3 college football.
Got it.
Nice.
For Illinois Wesleyan.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's I I think athletics is one of the, main things that can propel somebody into entrepreneurship, right? It's all about like the hard work that you put in yields you a result, right?
Yep.
And so like where your time and attention goes, kind of your energy is where your results go. So, but yeah, like college football. Not at certainly a D1 level. I'm not 6'2", 250 pounds or anything.
To
but
D3 college, that's serious stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you just waking up.
Whitewater, Wisconsin Whitewater, dude, they're better than some of the D2 teams.
Yeah. No doubt.
They crush it, dude. And they got a great stadium, dude. And those boys are big, dude. Have you seen those guys? They're massive.
Yes. I don't know what talk about like.
Yeah.
What are they doing? I don't know. They're injecting them with something. Like Wisconsin boys are all like 6'5". I swear.
They're just corn-fed Midwestern boys, man. I'm telling you, they're just like, it's great. What position did you play?
Wide receiver.
Good guess. Yeah, no, I return punts and kicks and defensive back.
Okay. Would you like playing offense or defense? What side of the ball?
Actually, so I preferred offense, but they wanted me on defense because they wanted to use my athleticism to guard some of the, the faster guys. Being, 6'6", 200 pounds. I was a bigger corner. And so they would match me up against the best wide out on the team, pretty much man to man most of the time.
We're on an island over here.
Yeah. Revis. Ash Island.
Revis.
Ash Island.
Yeah, Ash Island. He was a stud, man. Darrell Revis. I used to have his shoes back in the day, those Darrell Revis Zooms.
Yeah.
They're the best trainers, man.
Yeah.
I tell you right now, they're phenomenal.
Did they?
I still actually have a pair upstairs that's like a dead stock that I'm like, I don't want to wear. It's like, I'm not a shoe guy by any means, but like I've trained in these shoes so long. It's like I found a pair that's like a size 11. And I'm like, I can't wear them, dude. They're just like sitting there. They're green. They're Stunads green, dude.
Stunads green. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I was thinking as you're asking that question, like, entrepreneurship being propelled through like sports, especially being like a guy and things like that. Is there ever like a coach that you can remember that was like, because some of the best coaches for me were like coaches where it wasn't like I was scared of them, but like I was almost like scared of disappointing them. And I was like, I would do whatever, to get to that result or whatever they pushed us to. Mm-hmm. And, obviously there's a bond with, the camaraderie and the guys and stuff like that. But those are the best coaches for me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I had a Coach Basika was his name in high school. And he was just like that. He was like 10 years old or a guy like you wanted to be like.
Sure.
And talk about giving back to the community. He was not a teacher. Traditionally, you teach and then you're a coach, right? He worked at a corporate job. And then after he would get off, he would come volunteer his time. And
is this high school or college?
Yeah, high school. Yeah. So again, like a guy that you liked and looked up to, and you're like, yes, to your point, you don't want to let him down.
Sure.
Right. And yeah, so like it's funny that you like 20 some odd years later, right? You still kind of hold that person in high regard and are appreciative of the things they did for you. So. Yeah, Coach Basika. If you ever see this, thank you.
Well, dude, it's just as you know now, right? Like having family, having a business, like your time is so limited. Yes. So for a guy to dedicate his time, he obviously loves the sport.
Correct.
But he loves just giving back to the kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not getting paid nothing.
Oh,
right? So it's like
zero. You got paid.
Yeah, it's not for that. But you know what I'm saying? Like it takes a lot of love to do that, especially when you're getting paid minimal. You're going after work. You got a family. Like we both know. It's just there's no time.
Yeah.
I'd have a bunch of kids, but there's no time.
Yeah,
to take care of them all.
It's amazing how your time shrinks as you get older. It's so weird. Like you go from like feeling like you have infinite amount of time to all of a sudden being like, whoa. Like I'm gonna wake up and be whatever years old and just like shrinks every day.
Then you're
like,
40.
Then you're 40. Yeah. Then you're 40 and talking about moisturizer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. So in school you studied accounting? Is that...
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did, yeah.
So help me understand this one over here. What
you won't. It won't make sense. Yeah.
What do they teach in accounting? Like how to like balance a checkbook? I mean, like I didn't take accounting classes, but like it's almost like one of those, how you got guys or buddies that like they're in college, like, oh, I'm undecided or whatever. And then you're like, oh, I'm business. Dude, you're some blow off fucking major.
Yeah.
Okay. That like whatever. You're just here to play football or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think for most people, college is about growing up, right? It's like not the content of what you learn.
Sure.
Now in accounting it is, and that was probably my pitfall was I was just doing it because I was good at it. I didn't like it, right? But yeah, I was an accounting major. What do they teach you? I don't know, like how to read financial statements, right? Things like that. And how to avoid people cheating on their revenues, and then you take that and obviously you work for an accounting firm if you want to go into that field. But
dude. Is it me or do you like when you look at an accountant, you're like, dude, if you could picture him in your head or her, it's like the basic dude that like has the button downs like tucked into the pants, like behind a computer, like no fucking personality.
Khakis pulled up
it's
too
definitely
high.
not you, bro.
Probably like, pleats.
Dude.
No offense to anyone.
Well, when I think
pleats.
about a chiropractor, all right, I'm not thinking about this.
Come on, man.
This good-looking guy. But that's what you are. So, okay, accounting, and then after school, how, like, did you immediately say, like, how did you make the transition to opening up your own agency?
So like probably my first weekend in accounting is where I knew that I wanted to be a business owner. So it was Friday, and it was my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary. And we're working this audit in Crown Point, Indiana, I think. And I was supposed to be at my grandparents' place like 7 for this dinner. And they're like, no, we got to finish this audit. I'm like, this is a 50th anniversary. I'm like, I got to be at this party. And they're like, no, we got to do this. And this is like one of my first weekends. I'm like, I immediately knew like I didn't control my destiny. And that's kind of when I knew. And, and so from then on out, it was more of like a mission to find something that was better for me. And it took time and some angst. But that's how I got out of it was like, I can't even go to my grandparents. I was like 2 hours late. They were like wrapping up the party. It was so embarrassing. My parents were so mad, and I was like, it's my first job. I don't want to, so.
Yeah. No, I get it. But it's like the golden handcuffs, dude. Like guys got the golden handcuffs. There's like, you're maxed out, but like if they tell you got to work, you got to work.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't like, it's like control. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that.
100%.
I'd rather control my own destiny.
Correct.
I mean, I get it. Sometimes it's like you can't pass up the money or the benefits, but it's like, dude, doesn't matter whatever it is. You're still a number. If they could cut you, they'll cut you.
Well, and then I take that experience and put it into play with how I treat my employees, right? Like I would never do that if I wouldn't care what they were doing. Like your family, especially something like that, is more important. Like, okay, you're picking up your kids at school, things like that, like whatever. But 50th wedding anniversary is something
doesn't happen often.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so my staff has it. I'm like, go prioritize your family, right? And they'll take care of you if you take care of them. That's the thing.
100%.
Like, what are we doing here?
That's another thing that we see a lot. You take care of the people underneath you, they're going to take care of you. They're not going to be like, oh, this guy's making me come out on the weekend. Oh, this guy's making me stay late. They're gonna care. They're going to put their effort in. They're going to remember it.
Yeah.
If some guy or some girl is going above and beyond, dude, I've got no problem with incentivizing them. Bonusing that, whatever. No. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm like, I love it, dude. I'm like, let's go.
Yes.
It gets me jazzed up, dude.
I like writing a big check to my staff when they make a sale, right? I mean,
dude.
Good for you.
Because we're winning, dude. Everybody's winning, and it's like no one's gonna care about how much you like or how much you love your business as much as you, right? It's impossible because you're always gonna love it the best or put the most effort. But like to see somebody that's younger put in the effort, it's like, okay, dude, we're going to reward you. Whether some people want time off, some people want money, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it gets you excited, but it builds up a good brand culture. And then again, just people feed off that. And then on the opposite side, if people don't do that, and then there's negativity of a cancer because people, the higher ups are cutting corners. It feeds down the chain, dude. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, back to your question, which I didn't skirt, but I didn't answer directly.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I went and worked for an accounting firm for a few years, and financial crisis hit. I was in private accounting, which basically, I don't want to say it's elective, but it's certainly not like a publicly traded company, right?
Okay.
So everyone in my division that was my level, they were like, you're gone. And so I had this I was in a juxtaposition, I guess. Like I had a decision to make, right? Did I stay in accounting where I had nice 6-figure offers as a 25-year-old, which is 25-year-old. That's
That's nice.
It's really nice.
That's also 15 years, 15 years ago, right? If I can do math. And
or do I? He went to school for accounting over here.
So you can now see why I'm not one, right? Yeah. Or do I do something else? So what I did was I made a list of everyone I respected personally, professionally, and I bought them a beer, coffee, whatever, took them to dinner. I'm like, what do you do on a daily basis at your job? Not like, what's your title? Like, I don't care. Like, what do you do? Because I want to do something that I like, because this frankly sucked, right? I did not like what I was doing. One of the guys I met with, he was a president of a packaging company. And he's like, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be an insurance agent. I'm like, what?
I've never heard anyone say that, dude.
I'm like, no. And so the more you explain, the more it resonated with me, right? It was, you can help people. There's no income cap. You can grow your business as big as you want. It's something that the public needs. They have to have, right?
Sure.
Home and auto especially, but life insurance, right? If you have a family, you're just kind of a bad person, in my opinion, if you're not protecting your family's financial
100%.
future, right? And all the other insurance and financial services that go into that. So what I did was, instead of taking the 6-figure job working as an accountant at 25, I took a $30,000 base salary job working for an insurance agent to learn the business. And of course, there was commission and things like that, but
it's all hustle now.
But yeah, I went into that, and I was light years happier. I mean, you can't even believe I'm like making so much less money, but I'm like, the harder I work, the more I get paid. And that just like resonated with me. Like in accounting, it was like, that guy's not doing good, this guy's doing good, but they're making the same amount of money as a staff accountant.
Sure.
So that's how I jumped into the insurance game, was the advice of a person I respected. And then I went and I was grinding, right? I mean, and there are times during that when, I look at like where I'm living and what I can afford. I'm like, I have to remind myself of like where I'm taking this eventually, which was to start my own, agency. And so you said grind. It was, and I think that's one of the most important things with an entrepreneur's grit, like your ability to like work through things and like have a vision towards the end of something. Yeah. So anyway, not to monopolize the mic here, but that is how truly I went from accounting to insurance.
So you're working with this insurance agency now. Like you said, 30,000, whatever it is, but you're enjoying yourself a lot more. When did you say to yourself, I could do this myself, or I can open up my own thing, and I can take this off into my own? I
went into it with that intent.
So you went into it with that intent.
Because I had the ability to start an agency myself, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. All right. I was never really in sales before.
Right.
I certainly had never run a business before. I had the accounting background, which that helps, right? I knew how, numbers, cash flows, expenses, return on investment, those things, but I didn't have the experience like managing and working with people. And so I went in with the intent of developing those skills so that when I did start, I knew that I would be more confident that I was going to succeed.
Got it.
Yeah.
And the person that hired you, were they aware of that? Were they're like, yeah, dude, this is what it takes. This is what you got to do. This is the list you got to make, and you got to pound through it and just go through it. And you're like, give me the ball. I'm going to run with it.
Well, it's funny you say that. So the day before I met the guy that hired me, he had been talking to an executive in our company and said, I'm looking for someone probably like an athlete, a college athlete with some personality. And so the next day I walk into this guy's office and he's got this like deer in the headlights look. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I literally told this guy yesterday that I was looking for a guy just like you. And you walk into my office today. He's like, what in the world is going on?
Can't make that up. Yeah. It's supposed to happen.
So,
and then he looked at your resume. He's like, okay, you can get out of here.
He's like accountant, pleated pants.
The worst, dude. You can tell. I'm not kidding, man. When you walking down the street, you're like, oh, this guy's definitely an accountant. You know what I'm saying? And not like you want to profile people, but you're this guy's a Stunad, like he's not.
No, there you go.
Would you say you still have that same fire that you did back then that you do now? And it I bring that up for the viewers because like, I kind of related to like, it's almost like, not like a drug, but like this adrenaline addiction to like success in the chase, and it's like something you get up every day, provide for your family, but like, it's the constant chase. And when you go through owning a business or being, a sole entrepreneur, the struggles are what you're going to remember. You're not going to remember the end as much as the struggles to get up the mountain. And I think that's like, for me at least, and for a lot of guys, it's just, those are the stories that like build the backbone. And then, you can just like, whether pass on your kids or your grandkids. And then it's almost like that fire within you. It's like, you got that chase like a lion.
Well, yeah, I mean, and sometimes your motivation comes from a different place, right? I mean,
100%.
Now it's like a family and taking care of my kids and, things of that nature. But, you still have a fire and a reason that you're getting up and doing those things on a daily basis.
Sure.
But yeah, it does become fun too. Like fun for me is like starting another business and working harder and like seeing if I can like top what I've done before, right? But yeah, I just I do love it as much as I did before. And I meant to. I like helping people, right? Like, if I hand somebody a check after their spouse dies with life insurance, like that's a lot. That's life. Like
it helps them.
I mean to say it like this, but life changing, right? Like they're already going through this like super emotional, situation with their family and their kids, and it's like, do we need to compound that by a financial stress?
No.
And so that's an extreme example. Obviously, that's probably the worst of what can happen in someone's life. But I like to be able to make sure that I'm putting people in a good position. So as much as anything, obviously that drives me.
Customer service, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember my wife, she got an offender bender. I mean, not only you called her, but your staff checked on her. Like it wasn't, you know, like first thing wasn't, okay, let's get this claim done. I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, do you need anything? Like just being a person.
Yeah.
And just the customer service, which like, you know, you go to some corporate office or whatever, you're not going to get that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And I don't like that.
Oh, it's missing in a lot of places today when it's like you get a robot or AI or, you know.
Like when I call your office, I'm talking to somebody, you know, it's like, and I know the girls, hey, what's going on? It's Dr. Drew. I just want to make my payment, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
It's nice to talk to people because it's like going to the bank. Okay, you used to go to the bank and you're like, you know, the teller.
Yep.
You know, like you have that relationship.
Fridays, you deposit the check. Hey, Nancy, how you doing? All right,
hey, have a good weekend. You know?
Life. Yeah.
You know, it's like just building that culture bond, but.
Yeah,
we don't see that. Yeah, and how do you keep your staff and like the guys the girls that you got underneath you as far as the agents? You know, you guys are you guys having quarterly meetings, weekly meetings? How are you guys making sure that they're hitting their goals and things like that?
Yeah, I do bi-weekly meetings individually, and I do it a little bit less of like feet to the fire, more just like making sure they understand that I care about them and their development. I think that building a good rapport with somebody, making sure they understand that their success is important to you, not just your success is a way for you to convey, that they are important to you, right? Because ultimately your success is built on other people that work with you, right? Yep. So team, I try to take them out to lunch once a week, and somebody in my office. But as far as the accountability part of it, I mean, just on a quarterly basis.
Sure.
Anyone can have a bad month or a bad week, but if it's consistent, hey, then we got something we got to work on or have a conversation, and sometimes those aren't fun.
No, right? Not at all. And are you guys doing like role playing, or how do you coach your team on? I think it's hilarious when people say, "Oh, as you're talking about sales, like it's this negative thing to it." Like every transaction life's a sale. Okay, guys, every transaction, whether you're going, doesn't matter where you're going, the grocery store, you're buying insurance, whatever. Every transaction is a sale and the experience through it. So,
well, you had to sell Ari on going on the date with you, right?
Yeah,
first time
for sure. I had to pitch myself to her, dude.
Absolutely.
There was no apps.
Yeah.
I didn't have Tinder, dude.
And a third, and a fourth.
No Hinge.
Yeah. I was.
I mean, the roster was deep. You know what I'm saying?
Easy. Let's ask Ari about that one.
Roster was empty,
bro. But yeah, I have just a playbook built out of just all the things that a successful salesperson should do. And then I just look at it and see if they're doing that. If they're missing a piece of that puzzle, we work on that aspect of it. So I have this guy, Ricky, in my office, and this dude can charm just about anybody, but he is also doesn't like stepping on people's toes. And so he doesn't push people enough to make good decisions for themselves. Because sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to be like, look, like you got to push them a little bit to make a good decision. Like, let's talk about, for life insurance, for example, they might say, "Oh, I got it through work," and then it's like, "Well, what do you have through work? How much is it?"
Yeah, do you know what you got?
Yeah, and that's the end of it. That's
correct.
The end.
So that's Ricky's problem. Is he's like, I don't want to make this person upset. I want him to like me, so I'm going to let this. Oh, you're good. Okay, whatever.
I'm with you, man.
So that's a part of the playbook, right?
Yeah.
So he's missing that piece. So we work on that together to make sure that he's appropriately pushing people to make those good decisions.
Yeah, to touch on that too. I mean, I think the why there's like a little disconnect or there's like a little bit of a hesitation with the client is because like nobody ever reviews this with you. Like your parents don't, unless your parents have life insurance and they're really active and hey, you got to do this. I would say the majority of people have no clue how life insurance works, whether it's term or whole life.
Sure.
And then, you get this big thing. It's all, this big document. You got to sign it. You have no clue. It's just like when you buy a house, dude. Are you actually reading the whole thing? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like you trust the attorney insane. And the attorney is telling you what's going on.
They're like, here's 7 paragraphs. We're just going to skip this and you're going to sign here.
God forbid you use a black pen versus a blue pen or whatever, but I think that's huge. I mean, because if you don't understand what's going on, it's the same thing in our office. Like when you come in and, you don't understand what's going on, how am I supposed to understand what's going on? That's why you take those pictures and x-rays and explain it to the person. Okay, well, why didn't this work before? Okay, so why, if you were working with somebody else or you had insurance with somebody else and let's say you had a claim, how come did you not look at your policy? Oh, well, they didn't explain it to me. That's literally all you're doing.
Yeah.
This is what's covered, this is what's not covered, so that you know and you're educated.
Table stakes, if you will. It's like something you just got to do. It like just offer right off the bat.
I would rather over-educate my community than have them under-educated and then lose a sale or lose service, and then they say something shitty about me to a referral. You know what I'm saying?
It is insane how with insurance, you have $1 million house, let's say, and people are just like, they don't pay attention to anything. They're just like, I got insurance. And it's like, well, yeah, you got insurance.
Everyone has to, you know.
But is it right?
Do you is it the right fit for what you...
And then they don't want to talk about it right then, but when they have a claim, they're just assuming it's good. And it's like, well, I tried to talk to you. My staff tried to. So we have to push customers to like, look, if your house burns down, you're short $50,000, you're going to be upset, right? Okay, like let's take 2 minutes to save you 2 years.
Put them in situations in their mind to, you know, to be like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe Eric is right. I should probably check that. And a lot of times too, like you're just used to your day-to-day routine. You're like, fuck this, dude. Like, I don't have time, Eric, to like review the insurance policies. Yes. But like, we do it every year. We do it every year, man. Yeah. I mean, we go over from whether it's the properties to the businesses to the workers' comp to my personal stuff.
How most people behave,
you know, because I don't want to get burned, dude. I don't want to get burned because God forbid you never know if you're going to get a claim or whatever, and I don't want to be burned. I'd rather have my stuff checked. Hey, man, did we miss anything? All right, cool. Not that we're panicking about it, but we're just being proactive.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, some guys are, you know, proactive and some guys are not, but I think people just don't want to do it. They're just lazy.
Right. Or they just put it off to the side because they got other, they want to focus on other, they want to focus on other things. Or how about this? Are you finding a lot of people that just want, like, come to you, just give me a cheaper policy than what I got right now?
You know, so I'm somewhat removed from the conversations on a day-to-day basis, you know, from how I operate the business, but we get that occasionally. And I don't want to say that we avoid people like that, but like, you know, we try to fish in the correct pond. Sure. Right. And people that are successful typically are people who will take the time, like Drew does, to sit down and look at their policies. And those people are buttoned up in most aspects of their life, right? People who are a mess are kind of a mess everywhere, right? They might be, you know, no disrespect to anybody, but, you know, overweight, right? Because they're sloppy with their eating and their workout habits. And that bleeds into all aspects of your life, right? So I try to have my staff fish in a pond where they're going to get people who desire to have appropriate coverages, who desire the recommendations that my staff will make to people. Yeah. But yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah, so you know? It's not like you're just spraying and praying, grabbing people, you know, that are needing insurance. You're like, well, let's be deliberate about this. Let's figure it out for both. And you kind of do the same with your business, right? You're vetting people, making sure that, you know.
Yeah. Because if I'm not vetting, then I don't know how I can help them, for one. Right. So if I don't understand what the problem is or the full complexity of it or what's worked, what hasn't worked, I can promise you something and then not deliver on it and be like, well, that's on me because I didn't know the complexity of it. And you know, it's just, it is what it is. But I feel like it's not even like you're vetting them. You're just having a conversation and understanding.
Right.
If you don't know what the problem is.
A lot of people want the sale now. It's like, dude, the sale will come. But just if you take care of the steps before, the sales are going to come.
If you don't know what the true problem is, you can't provide the correct solution, right? It doesn't matter what you're selling.
Whether you're eating, dude, it'd be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I just eat McDonald's and I still go to the gym. You go to the gym 7 days a week, dude. If you're eating Big Macs every day, you're going to get the result?
Yeah. No,
I mean, unless you're Ocho Cinco, dude, like it ain't going to happen. You know, like, you know, I mean.
Right. Maybe he would have had another year on his career if he wasn't eating that junk.
I still remember the first time he said that on like national TV or whatever. And I'm like, dude, you eat McDonald's every day?
That's what somebody told me Jordan was like that too.
Really?
MJ, yeah.
I would have never thought of it with Tim Grover. I would have never guessed.
Well, maybe he, you know, changed that once Grover was involved. I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
Not an MJ historian or anything, but somebody told me that.
Are you an MJ?
No.
Oh, you're not. You're not. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a basketball guy by any means. No, I'm 5'8", dude.
I'm not 5'8"
Paisan.
Dude, I got tree trunks for legs, dude. I'm built for speed, dude. I'm not short distance speed. Yeah. That's it, dude.
Okay.
You know? No long distance here, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You know. Well, I hear you there.
A question. I want to go back to, so you're working at this agency. You've got the intent to open up your own agency. When did you feel like, when were you comfortable enough to make that leap to your own agency? Like when you're like, okay, I got everything I need, I'm ready to do this. Or was that feeling, did you ever have that
I never had that feeling.
That's an
How many months in were you from working there? Was it a year?
It was 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
2 years, yeah. So I worked on a few things, and it, not to bore people, but the sales aspect, hiring, firing. Like the guy I worked with had me, hire like a telemarketer that would like line up leads for me and things like that.
Sure.
So
Right.
I got some experience in managing people, but they told me they're like, dude, you're ready.
Oh,
You're
really?
ready. Like you're writing more business than anyone else is under any agent.
That's got to feel good,
Right.
dude, to have,
Yeah.
And it gave me confidence.
Because it's
right?
you're a dime a dozen, dude. Like there's a bunch of agents,
Correct.
right? So it's like I'm buying Eric.
Yeah.
Essentially, like I'm buying Eric because I like his customer service. I like him. Like,
Well, and it's your ability to put together a team and build
Yep.
a culture, right? Like
Right.
my staff is fantastic, and I take a lot of pride in who I hire, and I look at it as like I'm either making myself better or worse with this hire right now today. And so that's the difference between me and other agents who maybe have the same prices, is that I have a better team representing me and is able to, teach people or educate people how the policy works in an effective way that's, gets the point across without putting them to sleep, because
Yeah.
insurance isn't exactly the sexiest
Sure.
thing on the planet, right? I mean, I'm in accounting and insurance so far, like god dang, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's that? I got this funny story in my head, and I know you know it, but who's that girl that, remember when I told that one of your workers or whatever was working on whatever case, I said, if you ever leave Eric, you're going to come to me. I forgot her name, but she was great, dude. She still works for you. I just can't remember her name. I'm sorry for watching this video.
Yeah, Addie,
Dude.
Addie,
Dude, her customer service, dude. I wish,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I would
Do
pay
you know
you
where
train.
she built that customer service?
Where?
Four Seasons Hotels.
Dude.
There you go. Hospitality.
From the
Yep,
way
yep.
she just like writes her emails, dude, to how she answers the phones or replies back, I'm like, dude, you sound like you're an oddball in your generation, because it's like,
How old is she?
She's probably 31.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, if you ever need a job,
Yeah.
I'll be the first one on the line
Yeah.
here. Call me.
Yeah. I mean,
But
like,
she's great, dude. She's great. I mean, those are the type of people that you want to keep forever. You know?
well, she holds me accountable.
I-
She'll be like,
You-
seriously, like they say like work wife, and I always thought that was a weird thing. I'm like, that's weird. And then she started working for me. I'm like, I understand it. She's like, no, we're not doing this. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Like
Keeps a
kind of like your
standard,
wife does
dude.
at home.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah.
No, it keeps the standard. I think that's huge across the board too, with business employees and how they kind of react. Is like, if you have somebody who's doing it wrong, especially an older superior, it's just going to funnel down like a cancer. But if you
Yeah.
have somebody like Addie that's established and sets the tone, everyone's going to follow in, because you're a team, and then everyone's accountable, and then everyone wins, man. I mean, I can't hammer that enough, guys. If you have a bad culture, whether you're working for somebody and you have a bad culture, get out. Get out. If you're like, dude, I hate this, hate that girl. If you're coming home to your spouse and talking shit about your coworkers, dude, you're in the wrong environment. You're never going to grow. Never going to grow. You should have a boss that's going to come in, motivate you, and wants you to win, right? So again, Eric and I know these people aren't going to be with us forever, okay? But when they're with us, we're going to make sure that they're 5 to 10 years further in business and education than they were going somewhere else, and that's going to help us win.
100%.
Because at the end of the day, we know they're not going to be with us for 25 years. It's impossible unless you get a gold nugget. Okay, but even then, if you can help them win, which goes back to what you're saying, and making them better, they're going to stay in there, and then they're going to just, be loyal.
Yep.
You know, but if you're coming home to work, dude, and you're telling your wife, oh, dude, I can't
Well-
stand this guy, he's a dick, or he's passive aggressive in an email, dude, you're in the wrong place.
Well, on the entrepreneurship, if you own a business and you feel that way about your staff, you need I don't care how much money they're making, you need to get rid of them, because eventually
100%, dude.
it's a house of cards when you have somebody who's negative.
Everyone's gonna
I've
go
had
at
it
once
happen.
too. Yeah, you're gonna get, people are gonna push the good people out. The bad people push the good people out.
Correct.
Yeah.
They get sick of working with them.
I've had it in my office. I've had it before. I'm like, dude, how did this happen?
Yes.
Did I not have my fucking finger on the pulse here? Like, how, you know how we right? There's no drama. I don't accept it.
You get blinded
Yeah,
sometimes,
and I'm
right?
like, why didn't you bring this up to me?
Yeah.
Because if there was a situation, like, and again, fault on me for not making sure and communicating that there was no situation, but then you get caught up with life, kids, business, and then that's a life lesson you learn, because you're like, fuck, I need to keep my pulse on. I need to check in with these people, because at the end of the day, they become your family. And when you lose a family member, especially a small business, it's like a huge blow.
Yeah.
And you got to recap. You got to go back on the books as far as finding somebody, working with an agency to hire. And it sucks, dude.
Yeah.
And then you got to put in double the work.
Yeah.
Because you got to cover the load.
Yeah.
Or you got to ask somebody else to cover the load.
I can't remember the phrase my mother-in-law uses. She says something like trust but double check or something like that. Like put trust in people, but also just double check sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
too,
measure once or cut. Or what was it? Measure once? No, measure twice, cut once.
You can't cut twice.
I'm not a carpenter.
We'll get these metaphors going at some point.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, right.
You know. Yeah, I mean, where do you see yourself? I mean, we'll talk about your other businesses, but with the agency side, are you looking to grow further, or are you like, do you feel like you are not comfortable? I hate to say that, but like, you enjoy what you're doing at like the level that you're doing. Or do you want to open up more spaces?
Yeah. No, I want to open another office and expand, and I want to make sure, just like I kind of strategically prepared myself for the first one by going to work for somebody, that I am in a position where I've strategically prepared myself for the third one, so that the chance of success is much higher. But yeah, I want to open a third one, a fourth one. I mean, I don't know why someone would get into business to like limit themselves. Like, I mean, like is there comfortability? Yeah, there's comfortability. Why? Because I have a thriving business. It's doing well, and I have good people that work with me. But I think, like, you never want to get comfortable.
It's always in the back of your head, dude, that you're going to go under. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
100%.
It's always in the back of your head, like something's going to be fucking wrong, dude. I'm going to go under. Something's going to happen, or whatever. Or COVID hits, or whatever. You don't know.
Correct.
And it's like, that's what burns inside you and drives. That's why you get up. Because like,
it's almost like a fear, right?
Dude,
it's like,
there's no option. You got to get up.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's nobody coming to cover you, dude. I mean, we're behind. There's like no one at your six. Like, you're like, dude, if I fall, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like, there's bills. Like, people are counting on me. I can't fail.
Yeah. Yeah, you have employees that count on you, right? I mean,
employees, your patients, everything.
Not to mention your family.
They're yeah, there's a lot of people on your shoulders.
Yeah. That fear.
How far? How many miles are separating your current offices? How far are they?
So it's probably like 12 miles, but it's more like 30 minutes. Sure. And it's Metro Chicago, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Like, I mean,
it's just the traffic, the
lights.
lights.
A continent.
So where are they? Where are they? Can you say? Or?
Yeah. One's in Glenview, Illinois. One's in Arlington Heights.
The other one's in Arlington Heights. Got it. Yeah.
Future home of the Bears, I might add.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
You haven't ended up buying any of the. Did you buy one of the buildings?
No, I'm looking at one right now. Looking at it.
We've been talking about this for fucking 2 years or a year and a half.
Well. Yeah.
The first one I think was just tough, but are you still looking at where, Glenview or Arlington Heights?
In Arlington, it's really close to where the Bears would be, which obviously I think would be beneficial in a lot of ways from just the visual traffic that comes through there and all that stuff. But man, did I learn a lot about commercial real estate that I didn't know. Right? They're talking about like environmental tests and and there used to be a gas station next door, so like the environmental test, like high chance it comes back and it's bad, and so I have to pay $250,000 to like dig it up and like pump stuff like. So that's kind of what delayed it, was the situation with the building. But
nobody tells you that, guys, too. Like when you go to buy something, especially commercial property, the bank needs to see, or even the village. Yeah. Environmental study. Do you need a traffic study, a traffic light, all this stuff? I mean, I remember doing it the first time. I'm like, dude, you need $10,000 for a traffic study? Like, what the fuck am I going to do with this traffic study besides tell you that we don't need a stoplight here? And then if you tell me we need a stoplight, then I got to pay for a stoplight?
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
And then dealing with the Village Arlington Heights, dude. I mean, Jim Tenaglia is a good friend of mine. And, we supported his campaign, and all that stuff. But, man, and he's a builder. So he comes from a builder background. But, I mean, it's such a pain in the butt in Arlington Heights, whether it's the design commission, the plan commission. It's almost so much red tape that you're like, dude.
Yeah.
Why do it?
Yeah.
But then again, you're trying to build wealth creation, right? So it's like you're trying to dip into wealth creation, trying to, cut taxes and this and that. It's just like people don't get, you got to do all this stuff. It's like pay to play almost.
Yeah. Well,
where are you at with that? Like environmental study came back fine?
We haven't done anything with it yet. I mean, so it's kind of crazy. It's impossible to get a hold of the person who's selling the building, first of all.
Shocker.
Which is like the weirdest thing. Like, are you actually trying to sell it? That's like weird.
There's no agent?
Yeah, the agent isn't. I've been to the property 3 times. Okay, he didn't come one time because he's too busy. I'm like, what? Like my realtor, he's like, I have no idea what's going on here. But this person was probably like a family friend who just doesn't care or something.
Okay.
Get a discount on the commission or whatever.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm throwing a little offer. I don't care if they get mad about it. Like,
right.
Yeah, it's probably an old guy that just maybe used it for his business.
Well, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It's a deceased doctor, and his wife owns a property. She lives like 80 miles from here.
Oh.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a gold over there, though, off Northwest Highway.
But, well, yeah. And the funny thing about it is when my realtor called a second time, he had forgotten maybe that we were interested before, and he was like, oh, there's this insurance agent that's interested, and
That's us.
I'm like, that was 9 months ago, and you're still saying this. He was like using it as a bargaining chip. Oh, there's a lot of interest. There's an insurance agent interested.
These guys don't use email, obviously.
What is going on?
Look, I think I know that guy.
Yeah.
I think I know him.
Yeah.
That's exciting, man. I hope you get it.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Well, yeah, and so obviously a lot of benefits there. The Bears Stadium looks awesome, by the way. I mean,
wait, is it official or is it still
supposedly,
kind of
dude?
okay.
I mean,
it's
a lot of
officially, unofficially, official or something. I don't know. Like,
it's a tax thing with the Village of Arlington Heights,
keep going back and forth.
They've committed that it's their only option right now on the table.
There's no
so
way.
if it falls apart, it's not because of another location that swoops in and takes it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you got to think, somebody spent $175 million, correct?
Yeah.
On the land.
Or 160.
Whatever it was, $100 and something million. Okay. There's no way you're going to invest that much money to just sit on it and do nothing. Okay.
No,
absolutely zero. So as soon as you cut the check, the wire went through, whatever, it's a done deal. But what other people, not to get off on topic on the Bears, but the McCaskies own a tremendous amount of downtown Arlington Heights as well, which you just don't know. And top of Mount Prospect, they own a bunch of land already on Northwest Highway. That's where they're from. Okay, that's where Virginia McCaskey had her funeral, and was it Prospect Heights or whatever?
I think she lived in Des Plaines.
Something like that, dude. I mean, that's where they're from. I mean, they're big horse people in general, but I mean, so they own a bunch of land. They're not gonna not do it. It's just gonna take them time. I mean, a $5.5 billion deal, it's a lot for us. Business, dude. All the union workers, all the construction workers, all the people. That's huge for us.
Yeah.
And so the Village is, they want to obviously make money or get that money from taxes, but the Bears are saying, hey, if I'm putting $5.5 billion, I need to make sure that I know exactly what my taxes are going to be, because the fact is I don't want to get a screwball coming through and be like, okay, you owe 10 times this. And then they're upside down on the note, they're upside down on their, ROI, whatever it is. That's the whole purpose.
Well, the Bears are different, and I don't, not to get into like the Bears like you said, but aren't they like the only franchise other than the Packers who don't have the billionaire doesn't have some other business, right?
Yeah. They bought it for $100.
Yeah.
So I mean, they still have George McCaskey's like initials on their jersey, and that's the other problem. You got Kevin Warren, who's supposed to be the face and the business guy, right? Yeah. But like these people aren't business people. McCaskey's like, that's their only business.
Yeah.
That's how they live and provide for their entire family. They're not like, a Jerry Jones who's, from Arkansas with, oil money, or the guy who owns SoFi Stadium, the Chargers, dude. It's just like, it's different. They're not business mindset, like who wouldn't want to have their own stadium, make their own money versus paying the park district of Chicago. You're not making any money in the food or liquor, nothing on the parking. I mean, nobody's going to stay there. I get it. They're Chicago Bears, but there's no space. The crime to get down there, it's a headache.
Yeah.
But anyways, to get off topic.
You're happy about it. He's like,
I'm
Can we get the
McCaskies
on how not to be an entrepreneur?
No, I mean,
we should.
They got the father, or the husband of, Virginia McCaskey. They did a great job, dude. I mean, I don't know how many years they've owned them, but like that's a great investment. I think. I think that I heard a story about George McCaskey that he played baseball for the Yankees.
I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure somebody fact checked me on this while we're watching the video that Babe Ruth got traded from Boston, to the Yankees. He played right field. Did Babe Ruth play right field? Because I'm not a baseball guy.
I think at that point he was a pitcher still.
Something like that, where he actually took George McCaskey's spot on the lineup.
Oh, really?
And then after that, he went on and bought the Bears.
Yeah, good luck getting it back, right?
So I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I heard that story. But anyways, let's talk about your other endeavors and businesses. So what other things are you, besides being a broker, what other things do you have as far as in the pipeline, like as far as a revenue stream?
So one of the other things I do is I have a side staffing agency that does remote staffing, primarily for insurance agents. So
perfect.
I think probably the biggest problem most entrepreneurs have is finding and keeping people, right? So,
I do. And
I mean, you have new people frequently,
it's tough,
right? It's tough,
man. It's
right?
tough.
I mean, so we take that off the table for them, right? We'll make sure that one of the slots is always filled. The person goes on maternity leave, we'll staff you with a new person, right? Somebody quits or you have to fire them, we'll staff you with a new person. We take a subscription cut on a monthly basis that pays us for having supplied that worker for them.
Dude, great business.
That's a great idea.
It's never going to go away.
Because you're in the environment, you know what a problem is in the environment. Like, let me solve this by opening up my own thing and doing my own thing and helping other people who are facing the same problem.
Correct. And it's so funny that we get so many calls from people like, I lost somebody, I need some help. And then they realize all of a sudden that it's cheaper and easier to have us do it than it is for them to have to go out and find another person, the interview process is a long, right? You interviews and reference checks and background checks, and then they're not a fit in your culture, and like you're starting over again. Well, this person just supplied, ready to go.
Yeah,
and
teed it up almost.
Tee it up. Yeah.
People pay out the nose for it.
I'm sure you would.
For sure, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sure you would.
I mean, my wife does the hiring process because people don't show up for interviews or this or that, dude, and then people on Indeed will just send out mass, resumes of this and that.
Without even looking at.
Who's got the time to go through each resume?
Yeah.
And like half the time it's bullshit, okay, on your resume. Yeah. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to fact check this?
Yeah.
Your reference is your last past boss, probably your cousin, your uncle. Like, come on, guys. Okay, like.
I don't know what kind of resumes you're looking at.
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong people, dude.
Yeah, we're talking about fishing in the right pond.
I'm in the wrong fucking pond. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody help me.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
And right now I'm working on a to kind of go in tandem with like helping other business owners, developing an app. It's an HR solutions app. It'll be, from cell phone to cell phone, and without revealing too much because it's not on the open market yet. But it's called TrackHub, TrackHub, and it's basically going to allow communication between business owners and their employees with time tracking, time off. It'll give the ability, if someone leaves early, it will know that they left early via geolocation,
nice.
right? And so then they have to type in why they left early. So talk about like, what is it when the cats will play them away, the mice will play type of thing. Like, a little bit more about, I left early because I had to get to my, my kids' play. We talked about this, right? And then you can look and be like, okay, that was legit why they left early.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
It'll auto deduct time from their time card if they leave early as well, so you pay them appropriately.
Mm-hmm. So it runs payroll and stuff too?
Doesn't run payroll, and that's something we're probably going to integrate either like through, they call it like, I think APIs, where basically like your app works with another app. And so we can integrate it with like a Sure Payroll or ADP.
Yeah.
But
or we just create our own payroll company.
Well, yeah.
That's number 3, probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
not that, obviously an entrepreneur, but I don't know
anything about that.
I don't either. I'd have to do some heavy reading and research, but that's definitely a thought that's crossed our mind. So it's in its infancy. Like, we don't have any revenue. We don't have any, but like, if you don't take a risk, right? So we're paying somebody to develop this for us, and all the copyrights and the the legalese that go along with it. It's it's a lot.
Yeah,
and it's been like 6
months.
It could go south. It could be nothing. It could be a dud.
Correct.
So, I mean, I think that's a key point if you're watching this video and you're scared to take the step.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's scared. Okay, just jump in, dive in. And if you dive in and give it your best, okay, what's the worst? Okay, you fail. But the next time, you could do it again and do it better and learn from that.
You have to have confidence in your own abilities to go start something new or do something new, right? And that's kind of how I operate, is like, okay, I screwed this up. Like, I think I have a lot to offer society or another employer. For some reason, I ever lost, my job or wasn't able to do my job anymore, right? And same thing when you're looking to start a business. Like, a lot of them fail, right? And so,
For sure.
Or
marketing things you tried failed, or like whatever failed. Like, it's not just in business. It could be how I thought I could communicate with this employee. Well, I can't communicate like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you're always failing or whatever. You're putting out fires, but it's a constant thing that just, I can't hammer it enough, guys, when you're watching these videos, that like those failures, dude, those are the things that like you remember and you enjoy. Be like, dude, we failed so bad here, but look at how we made up on it.
Right. Yeah. You're gonna run into failures. Just like Eric said, there's no perfect time. You weren't like saying this, I'm ready to do this, right? But you did it anyways. I'm sure you learned a lot of stuff along the way, and you were like, this is gonna work out. You ran into some problems. Those problems ended up being small because you were able to kind of come back and say, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I want to talk a little bit about like some of the Stunad moments. Are you familiar with the term Stunads, by the way?
I'm not.
Well, Stunads is kind of like a slang Italian word, like knucklehead, like don't be
stupid,
like idiot, right?
Yeah, okay.
So like face palm, whatever, right? So some Stunad moments along the way that you faced maybe early on, or while you were opening up, working on these businesses that you started.
Or it could be this week,
Or this week.
God, I had a bunch on the golf course earlier today. One of the things that comes to mind, and maybe this will help you with your business and hiring people and knowing what you're going to get a little bit more when you hire people. But I had a tendency, because I want to make people better, that I would hire people and think I could bring them to the promised land.
Sure.
Right. I can get you to where you need to be. I know you have this inadequacy and shortcoming, but I think I can coach
Help
to make
you,
correct. And what I quickly realized, probably through tens of thousands, if not more, dollars paid out and lost in opportunity costs, right, of potential revenue, is that people are who they are, right? So I started seeking out a way to identify what someone's true personality is, and I came across this personality profile. And I was very skeptical, because I'm like, oh, this is game the system, right?
Sure, it's like an AI or whatever.
Just lie and say, yeah, I'm good at this. And in sales, here's a good example, right? If you get into an elevator, do you talk to people or do you look down at your cell phone? And right, and if you're in a sales interview, you're going to be like, oh yeah, of course I talk to people, but is that true or not, right? So this profile that I use tricks people. And the way that it tricks people is it has a list of words, like 20 or 30 words.
Okay.
And a good majority of the words are made up.
Okay.
So what they do is they ask you, when you start the exam, do you know the meaning of this word? And if it's a fake word and they say yes, they know that they're going to lie on the personality assessment.
Is this something you made?
No, I did not make. I wish I did.
Can we shout out this company?
It's called the CTS Sales Profile.
Okay.
And so Steve Suggs runs the business, and his Taylor Cooper is the other guy. Taylor's fantastic. He's the guy that I work with.
Sure.
I'm sure Steve's great too. But and so you can have your potential staff, or your current staff for that matter, take this assessment, and it tells you how they'll behave. Like, are they optimistic? Are they going to be believe in others? Are they going to be a positive influence on the team? What's their deadline motivation? Are they somebody who desires recognition in public, or are they somebody who wants you to pull them aside and tell them?
Wow, this is a good, dude, I got to try this.
Yeah. It is spot on. And I will tell you how I know it's spot on. One, because all the people that I've hired that has been indicative that they're going to be a good salesperson and a positive influence in my team have been. And I tested the theory, big screw up, but my brother is not a salesperson. Great guy, not a salesperson. He told me he wanted to be in sales. He took the assessment, scored horribly, worked for me. Did not have a lot of success.
Hiring family's tough, dude. I don't do it.
Yeah.
So what happened? He just fucking sucked?
Yeah.
Made a mistake. Any like big like mistakes that costed you anything?
No. Look, he was buttoned up. He was organized. In fact, I should have made him my office manager, because the test said this dude's going to take care of people. He's going to be buttoned up. He's going to hold you accountable. He's going to service
organized.
The accounts. So if I had done that, he probably still would work for me today. I think. But
have you hired family after that or no?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I never did. I just didn't want to have a situation, dude, or
Makes
like.
It weird.
Yeah, it's like, because if somebody's sucking, dude, and you're telling them, hey, man, like, bro, especially if you're like, bro, dude, like, what the fuck, bro? Come on, like, I'm paying you, dude. Like, this is a business at the end of the day. And like, how do you have that conversation with your brother? That's got to be awkward.
Correct. However, if you have somebody who is as like-minded and as driven as you, and it's more of a partnership in developing, I can see how that would work.
Sure.
But I had already had the business up and running. This wasn't a partnership. He was trying to find himself in his career, and ultimately he did. And it was probably a good thing that he worked for me, because just like with I found accounting wasn't for me.
Sure, he got the experience. He's like, okay, I don't like it, but thanks for helping.
Yeah, it's not working, so I'll move on. And that's what happened.
How did he take the news then? Did you break it to him gently, hopefully? Or
it was more, he recognized it and was like, I think I need to move on. So it worked out.
And this was you? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was like, I was going to give you a raise.
He's like, okay, I'll stay on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the only person that's ever worked with me is my mother-in-law, and she started with me when we were nothing.
Well, Ari?
My wife, but she's like, she does more like the background, like marketing, that stuff. She does work with me. I mean,
she's not in the office.
No, she's never in the office, dude. No,
right.
I mean, she'll bring the kids, we'll have lunch or whatever. But, like before, she was doing all the social media, all that stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that's not my role. She went to school for that. She loves it, cool, like, whatever. But yeah, my mother-in-law, dude, without her, like, I wouldn't have been able to do what I had to do because I couldn't run everything.
Yeah.
And so she put the systems in place. She, helped train staff and then build our brand book and built basically our black book for new employees.
Yeah.
So like, it's just.
Well, if you're not good at something, you don't like it, or
100%.
even don't want to do it, you got to hire that, right?
You got to delegate. Hire the best.
Yes.
Okay. If you can't do it, hire the best person that can do it because the headaches are going to be decreased 100%.
Yeah, you'll be able to focus on other things that you are good at.
Sure.
Well, I read a book recently. A friend of mine recommended it. It was by Dan Martell, and I think it's called like Buying Back Your Time. I think you may look it up, but one of the things that it said in there is like somebody else doing 80% as good as you is better than you having to do 100% of it yourself the right way. And that's kind of the gist of the book is like, if you want to multiply your income streams and duplicate yourself to be more successful, you have to like release and delegate to people, even if they can't do it as good as you, but you can train them to be as close to as good as you can. And, back to like, I think, which is the biggest part of any entrepreneur's business is like hiring the right people, right? So if you have the right people and you train them the right way, it's going to be.
I struggle with that. I struggle with that in the beginning, dude. Is like delegating because in the beginning, a common like entrepreneur problem is you don't have the revenue coming in to supply the employees. So you're like, I got to do it. I got to figure it out, and it forces you to figure out. And then you're really good at stuff, other stuff you suck at, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm doing it all myself. But then you're like, okay, now I have a wife or I've got kids. Your time is decreased.
Correct.
And then you're forced to, and then it's like, fuck. Like, I really got to trust it, dude. But then you're like, then you learn how to take care of employees because you're like, dude, if this guy leaves me or this girl leaves me, I'm F, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I got to like figure this out. It's like you're forced to a next level. It's like, you're here, boom, we're here.
So talking about the time thing, I went from kind of freewheeling with my schedule to an extent, of course, right? If I had appointments, I would go on the appointments. But now I read where, if you know who Kirk Cousins is, the quarterback.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. I have a lot of respect for that guy. I think he's taken his career like way beyond what anyone thought he would. So, but I read that he breaks down his days in 15-minute increments.
Wow.
And even his like breaks basically in his day, he breaks it down. And as my time is shortened because wife, then a kid, then a second kid, right? And then a second business and now a third business, right? So I'm like, I got to do what Kirk Cousins does. I think I got to like break my day down in 15 minutes to get everything done that I want to get done and need to get done, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know about you guys. The question I had for you is like, has your use of calendar become like, religious?
I mean, this guy for sure, I'll let you talk. Like calendars is a must, both in business and family life, personal life, because there's so much going on. And I don't go down at a 15-minute level, but I will go down 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I need to know what's going on.
Do you share a calendar with your wife?
I do.
Yeah.
You too?
Yeah. I mean, my calendar is just constantly booked. It's got work stuff, it's got personal, it's got podcast stuff, it's got kid stuff. But like for me, and I was actually telling my staff this week, like I remember this, a coach told me this, and I don't remember who told me it, but like if I went into a game, the night before, I would run through what plays were going to be called the first phase, the first series. I would know those plays and I'd react in my head, okay, if this happens, what am I going to do? If the tackle goes here, what am I going to do? If the bagger goes here, where am I going to run? What A gap, this and that. So that like preparing, prepping, like I do that now. Like I teach the team like, hey, what do we have tomorrow? Who's on this? Do we have new patients? Do we have any re-exams? Do we have to show new x-rays? Do I got to take x-rays? That way that it's prepared. That way when you get to work, you're like, oh shit, fuck, I forgot this, or we got this, and then something happens or whatever. And so like I do that with myself when I sit down at the end of the day. I'll typically just recap the day and I'll look at my calendar. Okay, what do I got tomorrow? And then prepare for that. And just rethink in my head, whether you want to call it visualization, or meditation or focus, but then it allows me to play in my head scenarios with something went south. Or like, hey, I'm running the time really tight here. So if this happens, babe, just a heads up, timeline's quick here. And I basically am eliminating problems because I'm pre-framing to whoever it is, hey, I'm going to be here. Or like with you, like when you're coming to the clinic, hey, something happened, cool. All right, cool. Like, we can communicate it, and that way your day gets done. But having a power list too for what you have to do done on the day. And then we use like Trello to have for all of our different boards on where we're at as far as, from the marketing to the sales and we organize that, because for us, if you're not organized, you have no clue what's going to go on.
You got a million emails
you can't actually win the day.
A million threads you got to look through. Trello's, shout out to Trello. It's a huge project management tool that we like to use. It just splits up all the tasks and where they are and like what's blocking this task, what needs to get done.
Do you ever have like a meeting with your team and you're like, oh, everyone's got great ideas, and then you're like talking, okay, you're going to do this, this, and this, and then 2 weeks later you're like, oh fuck, dude, like, do you do this or do you not? And you're like,
no, because it's not written down. It's not. It's
funny
you
that
can't
you
be accountable.
I was on ChatGPT, and I'm like, so I'm building this app, and the people who are developing the app, it's back and forth for like an hour. I like this, I don't like this, and he uses an AI note taker. So like the meeting is documented in that AI. Like, I don't know how it works. I'm researching it still, but I think that would be beneficial.
We interviewed somebody, and he does that too. When he's on a call with somebody, he'll do a video call or a Zoom call, and he'll have an AI thing that's prompted up on the Zoom, and it basically will send you an email after with the video, and then also reference points, key points that like you might have said, hey, this is really important to me. It'll highlight them in like a different color. It's crazy how far it's
automated.
Come.
It's like, so you're not wasting time. Like you could be in the meeting without having to like really
worry about it.
Well, you kind of lose your train of thought if you're trying to take a note while the person's over here talking. Are you really listening while you're documenting that? So
especially when you have a team like you do, a big team, and then now it's an automatic email to the team, reference points, and everyone sees it, and then you have like a Trello board or some sort of project management organization online where I can label this for a website, I can label this for Paul, I can label this for Eric, and then you have it needs to be done by this time. Right. I mean, organization is huge. I mean, because that's the only way like we get stuff done. Because like on the weekends, if I have an off day, dude, I'm sitting hanging out doing nothing.
Oh yeah, you unplug. Like you're
I'm unplugged. You know, like Saturday we have soccer, this and that. It's nonstop, and then trying to find a time to work out. We're up at 4 a.m. going to the gym, and then we got to come home, shower, take the kids to school, go to work. And then in between you're on calls. The most time I have in the morning to myself is when I'm at work from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. when there's no calls, no emails coming inbound. Because as soon as 8:30 hits, dude, or 9, forget about it. Until 4. Phones ring in, this and that, emails. You're getting texts, and you're like, and that happens with my wife. I'm like, she'll text me. And I'm like, babe, I saw the text. I couldn't respond.
Gotta leave it.
And then she'll double tap and question mark it, like, babe. Like, I mean, not to say anything, but like, there's sometimes it's not a priority, but like, there's so many other things on the calendar. Like, we're in calls all day today.
You need to focus. You have to focus on
that 5 to 8 thing is. I look back in my 20s. I'm like, why haven't I been getting up at 5 a.m.
Right?
In my like when I was in my 30s, I started doing it. It's like, whoa, this is like where all the like my brain's on, it's working, like I'm rested, I got my coffee, no one's interrupting me.
I love it, dude. That's why the clinic starts early. And then now that we have kids, I get to come home. I have, I could work from home if I wanted to, but then I have the ability to be home with them. And I have that luxury and not having to work like a 9 to 5 where I'm forced to be there. And I can choose to come in early and change my schedule and pivot when I want. And so, especially having kids, like when we didn't have kids, I would work weekends or I'd work Friday afternoons because I had nothing to do. I'd stay open for sales. But now it's like, okay, well, I need that Saturday to be with my kids. And then also, I need to have a separation between business and family, or else my relationship with my wife's going to suck. Which is key.
So back to that book I read, which I would strongly advise people to read.
What is that book again?
Buy Back Your Time. Or
Buy Back Your Time.
We'll leave all these books in that
links in the description for sure.
The questionnaire too. I'm going to try that out today.
I've got
But so a part of that book is like taking he has like these quadrants, right, of importance in your business, right? And if it's in this one quadrant, I can't remember what he calls it, but basically it's like something you shouldn't be doing as the owner of your business. You delegate it out of your quadrant. Right?
Okay.
But the whole gist of it is freeing up your time, because your time is your most valuable asset. And back to the, your wife and kids thing, like, I wake up and my daughter's 2.5. I'm like, I'm gonna wake up and she's gonna be 5, and you don't want to miss that time. And so we are afforded as entrepreneurs and owners of our own business to be able to do that. So like, I didn't get into, I didn't take a $30,000 a year job, working in an insurance agent to when I made it, to not be able to do spend time, go to softball or whatever it is you want to do with your kids. So
that's the luxury. It's not the financial, it's the freedom of time. I mean, financial freedom comes with it, but like, okay, have the ability to know, say, fuck you, I'm not going to be here today. I get to do what I want.
Isn't that
yeah, dude, it's huge. I can't tell you how nice it is. I'm telling you, like if you're that guy that's sucked into the 9 to 5, taking the train downtown every day and just like, you know, in the rat race, that sucks, dude. I had to get out, you know?
Oh yeah.
And I did it. I took the train downtown to the city working and it's like, this sucks.
Yes.
It's terrible. Like, it is what it is.
Well, some people need that like kind of schedule though.
Sure.
Right? Like
I could see
not
that.
everyone's cut out to be an entrepreneur. Like some people don't have the fire, the grit. Some people aren't willing to take the risk. Some people need the, you know, the compartmentalization to their day, and it sucks that they're like that. But yeah, like I think you just have the drive that other people don't have to be like, this isn't for me, right?
Yeah.
Control. It's control, right? It's like
it's controlled chaos, dude.
Yeah.
It's controlled chaos, literally.
Every day.
Yeah. We've hammered that on this show so many times, guys. Like Eric's putting out fires that you probably have no clue are happening, but he looks like he's having a chill day.
Yeah, and he looks like he's 28.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen it in my office. Like if something happens, you got to just take it and you got to keep pivoting and moving. I mean, there's fires that are happening all the time and you have no clue what's happening on the back end with personal stuff, but you got to show up and be there and just be in the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I think that's a huge note because just guys just like get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I can't hammer that enough, man. And that's just, and you know, I think it applies to like the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, right? So like the way you take care of your body, what you put in your body, how you treat your staff. Like if you have a standard of excellence for yourself, it's going to bleed across in who you're with. You're going to lose friends that aren't at that standard, right? And we all know it. I mean, you know, there's guys that you grew up with that just, not that you can't talk to them, but like they don't understand your business problems.
No.
They don't understand the taxes. You're paying, you know, $250,000 in taxes a year and you got to cut the IRS a check every quarter. And then you got to do this. And then, oh, this guy left you. And then, okay, now I'm on the hook for $30,000 for payroll in 2 weeks. Like they don't understand that. It's not like you're trying to belittle, but like you can't have those high level conversations and your pool of guys who understand the problems gets tighter and tighter and tighter.
Oh yeah. Well, and doesn't that go back to like put yourself around people who are successful?
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty, I mean.
Who have you, I mean, sorry to cut you off. Who have you put yourself around like as successful? Like who are your top 3 guys or girls?
I'd have to put some time and thought into that. I mean, from an insurance agency's perspective, my friend Gio is probably like the top one.
He's the man. Gio.
Super driven. You know, he, you know, grew up in a single family apartment with his mom. You know, dad wasn't involved, and yet he's still achieved like levels of success that most people don't. He's actually my business partner in those other 2 businesses.
Nice.
It's a little bit of yin and yang, right? Because I came from an affluent background where my parents made sure I understood that affluency needs to be earned. It is not given. And both my parents grew up, you know, very poor. And so they made sure to instill the proper principles in us to make sure that like we weren't spoiled brats, right? Like we weren't driving Mercedes type of thing. And Gio came from quite the opposite, right? Like I don't even know if he had a car when he was 16 type.
He loves his BMWs though now.
Oh yeah, he does now.
Shout out to you, Gio Rodriguez. You're the man, dude. He's definitely opposite as far as personality to you, but he's a hustler 100%, dude.
Correct.
Like, he's got that grit. Like he was like, had to be forced into the grit.
Correct.
Know? Like he came from nothing. He was like forced, but he's a great dude, honest, loyal guy for sure.
So so from an insurance standpoint, like that's probably the guy that I connect with the most on a business level. But yeah, I mean, like to who you hang out with, right? I mean, you hang out with people who are heavy drinkers, you're going to be a heavy drinker. If you hang out with people who eat poorly, you're going to eat poorly. If you hang out with people who, you know, are into sports, you're probably going to be into sports, right? And I know I'm like kind of oversimplifying it, but just like I'm making intentional decisions to like put myself around people who are successful because you just will be successful. You'll get opportunities from other people who are successful. You build networks with people who are successful. I played in a golf outing the other day. It was a charity outing. And I got randomly paired with a guy that was in our group. I knew the other guys. And this dude, he like basically retired early. He was like a trader for, he's a quantitative trader, right? And then we got to talking. He's like, yeah, now I own these car washes and I build apps. I'm like,
what a weird pivot.
Right?
But the car wash business is good, dude. Like the recurring $20 a month.
They're popping up left and right, those car washes.
So then long story short, after I leave the podcast, I'm texting him to see if we can meet up to talk about my app and ways that I can make it better.
Right.
you don't build those connections if you're not around people who are successful and like-minded.
Very true.
Dude.
So, I mean,
that's why you joined Inverness, dude. Like that's, like saying like you want to put your kids around that too. It's like, it just, you probably spend less time than like your kids are going to spend more time there as they get older. It's going to be a huge, like, I hate to say it at the end of the day, it's not about what you know, it's who you know, and putting yourself in the right places, man. It's, whatever sector of business, whether it's from politics to sales to marketing, right? Like if I know a guy and my daughter needs a job or something like that, no problem. Hey, I'm going to call. Hey, you do me a favor? Perfect.
Yeah.
They're not going to look at the resume.
Right.
That's that relationship capital.
They know your drive. They know that you're instilling it in your daughter.
Exactly.
They're like, okay. Yeah.
Dude, like how many people would do that? Like Brancato. He's got his niece, comes in, Anna Brancato. Fucking workhorse.
Yeah,
okay.
she is.
Joe and you have Brancato,
awesome.
Workhorses, dude. Like they get it because they come from the grind.
Well, and that kind of brings it back to how you and I met and connected is through our friend Brock, right?
Brock Klein, shout out to you. I never watched this video. Like and subscribe.
So I walk into his, first of all, your online presence is great, right?
Appreciate that.
I start looking at the different potential chiropractors. I was having terrible back. I'm holding my 9-week-old baby, and I'm like, my back hurts, and this baby is nothing, right? So
it's only gonna get worse.
My wife's like, yeah. So I'm maybe 30 on the outside, 50 on the inside. Anyway, so I found Doc, and I went in, and he's wearing a Medina shirt the first time I see him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have a friend at Medina, and he's like, what's his name? I'm like, Brock Klein. He's like, that's my shooting partner at Medina. Right. So instantly, because we had a mutual connection, right, we connected as well. And now
it's weird how the world works like that, dude.
Yeah,
like who would have thought? Like you
can network your way to success. Like, you can like not have any experience, and you're just like force people to meet with you. And eventually, like, you're going to get an opportunity out of it.
I agree. You will get the opportunity. I want to say, though, you definitely have to be somewhat competent to hold that opportunity, right?
Sure, yes.
Right? So I agree with that 100%. You got to know people and put yourself in these situations where you're like, yeah, I know
and
that
it is
guy.
awkward in the beginning because you don't have the confidence. You're like, dude, these guys got so much money. They're millionaires, and I'm just
what am I doing here?
Yeah, do I, just...
You got to believe in yourself.
You got to believe.
You got to believe that you can do it. Don't put yourself down. Keep your chin up and again, things are going to fail. You're going to fail. But learn from those failures. Keep going,
dude. And the problem is, guys, like you're scared to go to these things and communicate with people and connect. But these people that are there, they want to help you.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's why we're doing this podcast. Like if somebody came to an event and they're like, "Hey, man, like, can I get more information?" Just like you were with that guy. They want to go 10 times over what you asked them to do. And dude, the amount of gold you're gonna get from them,
it's priceless.
It's priceless, dude. Because that's all what those are all those mistakes that they've had to pay for with blood, sweat, and tears.
Correct.
To figure out, which you're basically jumping the line on it.
Correct. Well, so one of the things that I did to make myself more comfortable networking and like talking to people, because I was actually a very shy person, didn't like talk. Not that I didn't like talking to people, but I guess I just lacked self-confidence, and so. But my parents had always instilled in me that you grow by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. So to develop, before I started the insurance agency, when I went to work for that insurance agent, I knew I was going to be talking on the phone a lot. Not real comfortable with that. So I went and I joined Toastmasters.
I've heard of Toastmasters. What's that?
So it's basically to teach you how to get comfortable speaking in public.
Okay.
So I went to like 5 or 6 Toastmasters meetings, and they'll do like these impromptu. They'll be like, like my second meeting, they're pointing at me. They're like, you come up here, impromptu speech. They give you the topic.
Oh man, I gotta get out of here.
They'll be like, 1 minute, go. And then the point is that like everyone kind of like steps on their own foot, right?
Sure.
It looks bad. But what it did was like, again, like I did it 3 or 4 times. Then I had to do like a 5-minute presentation where, they give me a topic and I just make like a quick PowerPoint and then I have to present it. And so again, it like helps me develop my confidence, like speaking to
just
people.
Just role playing, getting out there, getting reps, man.
If you can do that in front of a room of people when you're networking with one-on-one with a person, it makes it seem like very easy. So, I think you said it earlier, like getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. I mean, that's what it's all about. Like no one that's ever become an entrepreneur has been like, oh my God, this is easy. I got it. We're good. And like everyone has self-doubt. And you just have to drive through it.
Sure. Is your wife a good public speaker?
No.
No, not at all.
I mean, I've never seen her speak in public, but
she's outgoing.
Yeah, she is on a one-on-one basis.
Sure.
However, if like I need to call a contractor to like do something, she's like, nah, you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not calling. My wife's the same
That's
way.
the same way for me,
She's
too.
not calling the contractors.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I was trying, like for
She's
my
like,
wife.
you got to be the bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, but I think it's like super attractive too. Like when
You'll never be the bad guy.
See like people, like especially like the way I met my wife, just seeing the way she carries herself, like that presence and just like the confidence to go out there and talk. Like, dude, it's like, that's awesome. If you go out and you just put your time in and do it, like you're going to build the confidence, and nobody's starting perfect, dude. Like you think I started before we were making YouTube videos, like our other show, we got 20,000 YouTube subscribers. Dude, we start from zero. Like the videos, if you go back in the beginning, they're terrible.
Yeah.
But then it's all about reps.
Yeah.
And it's fun, dude.
Is my video up there? I like walk into a room and he's like, we're going to be on video. And he like puts this camera in my face.
Yeah, it's like, hold on a second. Doesn't even get any time to prep. Give me a little something.
It is weird too. Like
I would have worn a different shirt.
Yeah. When like when you do a videotape, you're doing video with other people and they don't go on camera often. Like it's almost like it puts this massive pressure. Like, oh my God.
Well, today, I mean, I haven't been on camera, like I said, since college football.
Yeah.
That was
I'm going to find that video too.
2007. Like I graduated college.
When he scored the winning touchdown, is that what it was?
We didn't do a whole lot of winning when I was there. I was pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
But we weren't good.
Where are you at? Like, what are some things that obviously your kids are young, just like mine.
Yeah.
But what are some things that you're doing as far as wealth creation for them that you can tell the viewers that like you can do, whether you're a business owner or whether it's on the insurance side, or on a side business? Like, what are you doing to help your kids? Yeah,
well, I mean, I give the caveat, like do your own research, obviously, but the things that a lot of people can do, obviously, 529 plan,
sure,
right? You can they have a uniform gift to minors that you can do. You can buy kid life insurance policies. Mm-hmm. Those are beneficial because if they were to ever develop a condition, it still allows them to buy more if they didn't have that condition.
Got it.
But I would just say putting money away early. I mean, like if you look at like compound interest on just $100 a month from 0 to 30 years, it's quite staggering how much money you will have if it's invested in like a growth fund or something like that. But from wealth creation, I mean, I've always done my own investments. My dad was one of the few doctors on the planet probably that actually knew how to invest money. It's amazing how many doctors.
I gotta meet your dad, dude. We talk about him all the time off camera, but like, I mean, and he seems to be like a pretty big role model for you,
Oh yeah, I mean,
just
yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Just what he's accomplished too, dude. Like, I've never met the guy, but I have such a high regard just based off what you said. I hope my kids hold me to that standard.
Yeah, I mean, I like to give him too much credit because we're competitive with one another, but I remember being like, gosh, I must have been in the 3rd grade and he was explaining how the stock market worked to me.
I love that, dude. I love that, dude.
And I remember not grasping it, being like, what the heck is this guy talking about?
Yeah,
I had no idea. But what that turned into is then in college, I took classes. They had like an portfolio management class. And so you bought, actually we got to pick like $15,000 from like the general fund at the school, or what do you call it? The endowment or something.
Okay.
And we got to choose where to invest.
Wow, legit cash.
Legit cash, yeah. And so we got to choose where to invest it. Obviously, they like made sure, like
you're not throwing it to some
But and that developed into like me doing a lot of research on my own and like running all my own investments, like on a daily basis. I'm reading financial statements, and I don't have as much time to do it as I would like, but
sure,
I'll wake up at like 3 a.m. sometimes and like look on my phone. I'm looking up in the air, and I'm like placing stock trades for the next day.
Scheduling the futures.
Yeah. I'm like researching the whatever the metric you want to use to like determine if you want to buy a stock, but. I'm a big fan of automation. Like, make sure it's invested and you don't have access to it.
Yeah.
If you
forget about it, set it, forget it almost.
Correct. It's so many people don't do that, and then they wake up and they're 50 and they're hundreds of thousands of dollars short of where they need to be. Like as much as you need to invest in your business, you do have to pay attention to like money coming in eventually, and building an income stream or a dividend stream or whatever it is that you use to, you want to use to build that wealth.
Why do you think like people like you were just saying, like, they start working and then all of a sudden they're 50 or 55 and then
it's lifestyle creep.
Just Is it because they're just uneducated?
They're determined.
Or just like they're uneducated or they're stuck in the grind or nobody's explaining to them. They got kids and they got to pay for this. Like, how does that happen?
I don't know. I mean, like, is it keeping up with the Joneses? Like, I think it's lifestyle creep. Like, oh, now I make 200, so now I can do this. Now I make 400, now I can do this. And the smart people are the ones that are still maintaining that lifestyle for all intents and purposes.
For sure.
I mean, you can buy a little bit nicer car, move into the bigger house, whatever. But if you make an extra 100 after tax, let's call it 60, that doesn't mean you have a free 60 to spend, right?
No.
You should still invest the majority of that money. And I think that's the problem is, people, well, think about school. Did they ever teach you in high school anything about investing, about not balancing a checkbook, but you know what I mean? Like on
Money, how money works.
Inflows, outflows, nothing.
AR, PR, all that stuff.
It's all superfluous and nonsense is what you learn. And like, I don't care about Edgar Allan Poe. Like this guy does nothing for me.
Dude.
Like, no offense to anybody that's into that stuff.
Right.
That's certainly, if you are, then go study it and learn it and read it. I don't care about it.
Right.
That certainly didn't make me because I can quote the Raven nevermore or whatever. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Like that did nothing for me in my life other than let me use it on this podcast right now.
I mean, it's true, dude. None of that stuff is like actually applicable in high school or like, even in college. Like, how does this stuff apply to the real world? Like, nobody teaches you that, dude. Like, unless your dad or your family is somebody educating you and telling you, you're not going to know. And so that's like the majority of people, 99% of people, which it's sad because it's like, dude, these are the things this is how the world works. It doesn't work because you can conjugate a sentence, on the board in English class.
Yeah.
Or, because you know this, okay, or that. Like, okay, yes, you have to have a basis and understanding.
That's building a foundation.
Building a foundation.
Sure.
But
I get that. I mean, I don't use calculus, obviously, but I understand some of it.
The most knowledge I've ever gotten is from my grandfather, dude, of just being around him and just listening or just being in that space, dude, just being a kid and how he's communicating with business or with people and be like, okay, I like that. I like how you did that. That makes sense. My grandfather didn't go to high school. He's an Italian immigrant.
Right.
Yeah.
Like how was a guy like that who came with 10 cents a banana, okay, on a boat at Ellis Island, able to do all this without going to school? It's hard work, hustle, and the stuff that they don't teach you.
Well, street smarts, you develop that, right? I mean, you have to if you're someone like that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like that's true, like survival of the fittest, right? When you come in on a boat from a different country, like you got to figure it out, right? I mean,
there's no option.
None. It's you're on the streets or you find a way to get in the house, right? I get that's crazy.
And you can go one of two different routes. You can go the route where it's safe, right? And you're figuring things out as you go, or you can go the kind of darker route where things are like, let me just try to sneak my way into this and get this over here, get that. You can
like a Stunads moment. Is that what how you say it?
Not a Stunads moment.
Sorry.
Yeah,
obviously not Italian.
Honorary Italian.
That's
today.
right.
We gotta get you the chain, dude.
I should roll out with a monster chain.
She gotta get you a chain for sure.
Yeah.
No, but I think that basically builds you into being an entrepreneur because you're forced into just like we are every day. We're forced. There's no option. There's no. I can't go back to Italy or can't go back to my country. Yeah. Like I don't even have enough money.
They
don't
want you there.
Yeah.
They don't want you there.
Like so, it's just it's crazy to me. But yeah, I think just building that stuff like we're talking about with your kids is huge.
Yeah.
Because again, they don't teach it in school. It's unfortunate they don't teach it in school, but just bringing light to it and giving back. Because like the stuff that I learned, like my dad's a firefighter, mom's a hairdresser. They did well for themselves. I had no clue about money.
Yeah.
Like, they told me, okay, we're going to get a good education, this and that. If I didn't get an education, I would have been in the union. Not saying that's bad, guys. I'm not saying that's bad at all.
No.
But if my parents didn't give me an education, I would have gone to trade school. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I saw them work their ass off day in, day out and beat their bodies where they didn't want that for me. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think we need trades guys. I have all my family's trades.
Well, if you read like some of those trades they're in desperate need of those skills, right?
And they're making big money.
And
they are.
Private equity firms are buying up these companies left and right.
Yeah.
Like if you own a plumbing business, they're coming in and they're being like, look, I'll give you $15 million for your business today. And that, I mean, private equity doesn't mess up. They go where the money is.
Those numbers, they're all about the accounting, dude. They're
buying
not losing.
Up dental offices. I mean, I know that's not like a trade, but
no, they're doing it. They're doing with my stuff too. I've been offered like 3 times in the last 2 years. Like they want to do a roll up and like with the other offices in the area.
Yeah.
It's just how the hospitals are.
Yeah.
They're not, they're not nonprofits anymore. They're for profit. Like, it's just, and they're owned by these companies. And then all they do is they look and they say, okay, we're going to buy you because we see that you have some sort of gap in your revenue and we can make money on that gap. And then once they do that, they're going to sell that company that they just bought to another private equity.
Right, exactly.
I used to audit those when I was an accountant, those private equity firms. It's staggering how much money they make.
Yeah.
Like like the secretaries are making double and triple what I was making. Like legit, they just answer because there's nothing going on there, right? Just answer the phone, whatever. Yeah, it's somebody PR. Like they were making, the secretaries are making 6 figures at least.
Yeah. That's crazy. I have a story and this is about a private equity thing that you'll like. So my wife's uncle's Eddie Greco, owns Greco and Sons, also cheese merchants. He just sold out to Cisco, I don't know, a year ago or whatever. So I had to sit down with him a few weeks ago and I was like, hey, I want to pick your brain about this. This is where I'm in business. These are the problems and things like that. And I said, what did you do? How did you get to the point where you can ask somebody to give you this for your business? So he said, Drew, the time was the issue. It was the time. He was all in these different locations, but his time was the issue. And he said it was also a resource thing. So when you're selling food, your margins are so small.
They're thin.
So you have to have a shitload of volume. So even if you're doing 40 million a year in revenue, as far as one location, it's not netting that because of what the food cost is and everything else. He said, Drew, don't quote me this. I forgot what percentage. If he sold 40% or 45%, but he sold it to a private equity fund. And what they did is they took their money, invested it in his company.
Yeah.
Different locations helped him grow as far as the time thing, and he sold it for like 10 or 15 times what it was worth 5 years before.
Yeah.
I mean, what a genius move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
it's big.
I mean, it just, that's stuff that like, dude, who would have thought of that? Like, I'm going to sell a little bit of my company now because they're going to help me induct money into my company as well as time and their resources because they still have to win. It's an investment.
But did they approach him about that? Is it?
I don't know if they approached him or not.
Because
maybe
they came in and they said, "Look, we'll give you this injection of cash, and here's what we think the outcome will be." Right? I mean, that's what they're doing.
They had to have presented him with something.
But it's a great move because instead of it being valued, just say it's 20 million. Okay, if they can 10x that, dude, by infusing money in their knowledge and then they sell it together, I mean, you're making way more than you would, in just 5 years of time.
Yeah. Well, you see a lot of consolidation, right? Like didn't Mariano's buy up like Dominic's or something? Or
that happened? Yeah, exactly.
Like Trader Joe's owns Aldi's around here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they own Aldi's owns Trader Joe's. One of the, something like that. They're a parent company. Like Tony's Finer Foods, things like that. Like Pete's, all those are like, they're all at a point where like, dude, they're selling at these big companies. And it's like, okay, what happens to the small guy now that started as a small company that grew it to a big company? Like there's none of them left.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I don't like with private equity is that they're so down to the numbers that they lose their customer service on some stuff. Like the dental stuff. It's like, we have a tenant that's a dentist and some of the stuff, it's all numbers. Like, dude, it's at some point it's like, okay, well, the way the company that you own now got to where they're doing it is because spending a little bit more on service or whatever to get there. But now all you want to do is just cut corners and decrease revenue to pay out, or increase revenue at the bottom line. Yeah. And so it's like there's a little bit of a tough thing there with that. But the whole intent is, again, these guys basically come in and tell you, especially dentists, dude, they got no clue on how to run a business. Okay. Like they just go to school. Same thing. I'm at my business. There's plenty of chiropractors, whether you're, a chiropractor, you're a DO, an MD, whatever. You're really good at one thing, but you're terrible at staffing. You're terrible at running a business. You're just not a businessman.
Oh, well, you could be a fantastic dentist and not have anybody come to see you because you're not good at marketing.
Exactly.
Right.
And so that's what they do. They come in and it's a full service, but they're going to take
a little bit.
Not a little. They're going to take a lot.
Yeah.
But it's just, that's how healthcare is, at least. There's so many things. There's no hospitals are owned, like even insurance companies. Okay. The only non-publicly traded insurance company is Blue Cross Blue Shield. Okay. All these other insurance companies, they're all publicly traded companies. Yeah. So at the end of the day, even though you see online on TV, we're here to help in these commercials, dude, they're a bottom line thing. They are denying. Well, no matter what.
With what's it called? United Healthcare.
Yeah.
Right? They're all, they're being, that's the reason, unfortunately, that incident happened, right, is I think because they felt like they were denying claims they shouldn't pay, right? Exactly.
And at the end of the day, I get it. It's a business. You're a publicly traded company, and there's people that bought into you with your stocks.
Correct.
But again, and that's just the healthcare space. But
eventually it catches up.
It catches, yeah.
It will catch up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you promise somebody one thing, and I understand
I think that's
that.
why the private equity firms spin it off and get rid of it, because they know eventually they're going to run it into the ground if they continue to I don't want to say like they lose the humanity in the business almost, right? I mean,
sure, but it's almost like what I'd be interested if anybody in the comments can just tell us here too. What is a typical private equity look on the return? Let's just say if they want to hold that investment for 5 years, do they need to sell it for 20% more, or where's their line? How are they making enough money? That's something that I don't know. Like how many years are they waiting on the investment? Like real estate guys that are in private equity, they only want to have 5-year notes max, 5-year notes max, in order to be able to flip it, unless it's some sort of, depending on how big the deal is.
Well, I think it depends. I mean, from my experience in auditing them, they were all over the place, right? They owned golf courses. They were all over the map with the different types of businesses that they had. But the crazy thing was they would hit home runs, but they would miss some too.
Oh, for sure.
They would miss some.
Their misses are a lot smaller than the home runs, though.
And the home runs were like 2,000x.
Right.
They're just good at what they do. But
aren't you involved? Tell us about that. We were talking about how many months you've been involved with this place, this private equity in the city that's building this thing. Was it the West Loop or West?
I'm involved in a couple of them.
Yeah.
Again, going back to like networking and being around people who are successful, you get investment opportunities. Doesn't mean they're good investment opportunities, but
get a shot. Take a shot.
Yeah.
Correct. And again, back to my accounting background, like I feel like I'm pretty adept at assessing, risk and return and looking at financial statements. But yeah, so just an attempt to diversify, my portfolio. I've gotten involved in some smaller real estate deals. That one's a debt deal, so that they owe us back money, on a scheduled basis.
Sure.
And they personally guaranteed it as well. So if the investment goes belly up, hypothetically,
they're on the hook.
They're on the hook. So I feel like they were pretty confident to sign off on documents like that the investment was going to be good and they're going to be able to repay us, which they have on one, and we've done another deal now.
I keep telling you to cut me in, dude. Let me know when you got these things. I told you last time. I said, why don't you call me?
I'm not always privy to doing the inviting on these things.
Yeah.
I've been invited, It's kind of like, I invite you to my house, and then you invite your buddy down the street and just show up with them.
Sure.
Like,
That's not normal? That's not normal?
Yeah. Usually it's cool though, right? Usually it always works out. And, he likes to drink a beer and watch football. All right, he's cool. Come on in. But I try to keep it into small stuff. So I think once you get into big things, like you're a small fish in a big pond, and and also I think you lose the ability to track the deal, right? I mean, if it's a monster like conglomerate, that's the wrong word, but if let's say it's a
complicated
$400 million deal, it's like, well, man, like that's a lot. But if it's a $14 million deal, right? It's like the one I'm in right now. They have tenants there. They all have signed leases. They're redeveloping the upstairs, making it into a residential place. Nice. It's an equity-based thing. So, again, it's just it's a way to diversify your holdings.
Yeah, it's cash in the ground. Essentially, you're gonna get it back.
I hope. I'll see. I mean, like, you have to go into it too, and just know, like,
it's a risk.
I mean, it's no different than investing in a stock that goes belly up, right? I mean,
sure.
You don't think it's going to, but there's always that possibility, right? You can find out. Apple, like that phone gives you cancer tomorrow, right? And
probably
what happens
does,
is, it probably does.
Probably does. Someone's going to leave a comment. Oh, it definitely
RFK
does.
says it does. I mean,
somebody's going to leave a comment.
I don't even get into the political stuff.
Dude, no.
Keep me out of it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. But point being, So, I don't know to answer that question about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think just you got to be well diverse in that stuff. But those risks, as far as like, I think that I like that about you is obviously you have the background, so it's nice to have the knowledge from college or whatever accounting classes to be able to vet that.
I did get a little bit of. I was there 2 years. I got a little experience.
Because the way I didn't go to accounting school. Like I had to have somebody help me or self-taught on how to look at numbers,
right,
and be able to do that.
Right.
So having that leverage is huge, dude.
Yeah. Well, in some of these deals too, though, it's just like investing in the person who's doing the investing, right? So. I look more at like the person who is offering the deal and what their previous returns were, and you're basically putting your confidence and your money on the line that they're making a good deal, right? They're buying a property that's good, or the returns are going to be good, or they can find people that will lease that space, right? And so as much as I look at the numbers, those are all hypothetical, right? Unless they have the shoe store that's in one of the locations could go out of business, and then that money that they're supposed to pay in rent is gone. Right. So it's for me, it's more investing in the person who's doing the deal than it is the actual like numbers.
Yeah.
Although that's a part of it, obviously.
Yeah. So obviously you're around a lot of entrepreneurs, things like that, older, younger entrepreneurs. What's something that like, like you can tell like, okay, just meeting the guy within 5 minutes that he's an entrepreneur? Is it just how he holds himself or he or she?
Well, I mean, I'm usually pretty direct. I just ask the person within 2 minutes of meeting them what they do for a living. Like I want to know. And it's half curiosity, half like, can I help this person? Because if I can help this person, they're probably going to help me. So, here's a good example. Played golf the other day. I took my neighbor. My neighbor is, his name is Aiden Burke. You can give him a plug. He's a fantastic musician.
Nice.
Singer, songwriter, plays the guitar, sings himself. And he's on Apple Music. So he's
legit.
He's legit. He's good. Like I went the first time to go see him. I told this story today as well. And I just went because it was like the right thing to do. My neighbor's performing. I'm going to give him, I'm going to support him.
Love,
he was like 2 seconds in. I'm like, oh, this guy's, he's good.
Yeah.
Like this is real. Right.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Juicing him up, man. I love it.
Juice him up. Yeah. So I took him golfing today and this morning early, we got up early and played. And, I'm trying to connect him with Inverness, the golf club I belong in, so he can play there. Right. That's because I like the guy and I think he would be a perfect fit for it. But, years later, he may be doing me a solid for something.
For sure.
And so I'm a big believer in like giving back or doing things for other people. I always try to connect people. Like, oh, hey, your back hurts. I was golfing the other day. My back hurts. I'm like, you got to go see Doc Drew, right?
Hooks me up.
Right.
I feel like that's something that like I don't maybe it's just natural for entrepreneurs to do that, is to refer them to. And we talk about this in like the Italian community. Like if I refer you to somebody, I take that with a grain of salt. Like I'm not just referring you to some guy that like I don't know or maybe I use one time.
No,
I'm referring you to a guy who's been vetted by the community. Like you can count on this guy. If you call him, you can tell him you know me, and he knows you mean business, and it's a referral. So I don't know. I mean, but I think it's an entrepreneur thing too, because like if you can connect people. Like you're just helping people win.
Correct.
And when I give a referral, I make sure that referral's not going to let them down. I connect them. I say, hey man, this is a guy I need you to take care of, because if I let that referral down,
that's your word.
And my word is everything, right?
Yeah.
It's just like yours. Like if something happens with a referral or whatever, and I always check up on it. Hey, did so and so connect with you? All right, perfect. Just want to make sure. And this and that, because if I know that there's no communication from that referral, that's the last time I'm going to refer you.
You won't do it anymore.
And I'm going to call you out and be like, dude, I just tried to give you business, try to help you. You're supposed to be my guy, and now you make me look a fool.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
you got to be careful if you send somebody to somebody, right?
Yeah. It's just like your wife, okay, or whatever. Somebody posts on Instagram, and they're, she's like, oh, who's the best hairdresser, best for this, for the kids, or photographer? Okay, she's gonna get DM'd by a few of her girlfriends, and then she's gonna go with those people. She's not gonna go with someone she Googled.
Correct. Correct. It is funny how. Like I asked my neighbor for, I don't know, I was an HVAC guy or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I can go to Google and see 5 stars, but I still ask my neighbor. I'm like,
because of the experience.
How did that work out for you?
Yeah, it's kind of,
No, I mean, and being a referral-based clinic, I feel like now is, or not just clinic, but whatever business is just, it's huge. You're probably, what's your percentage? 80% referral-based?
Probably not quite that high, but it's at least 40 or 50.
Yeah, but you got a lot of drive-bys, like, a lot of things like that.
Yeah. How else do people find you? Like, can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously your presence online is important, right?
Sure.
Like if you look at the data, like 60 to 70% of people for insurance start that experience online, and 60 to 70% of them want to finish it live with somebody on the phone, right? So you got to have a presence. But I mean, a lot of it is, I train my staff. I'm like, look, if you close somebody's business up and you made $300 on the sale, let's say, and let's say it's a good sale for my staff. It is a pretty good sale. They're probably going to be hanging around, like we just talked about, other people who have a similar situation, multiple cars, multiple homes, maybe. They have kids, so maybe they need life insurance or disability insurance, whatever it is, right? They're not going to be hanging out with somebody who's driving a, 89 Buick Skylark or something, right? They're going to be hanging around other successful people. And I train my team to then get referrals from them, right? Ask them, how did it go? Are you happy? Hey, send me somebody. It's obviously, this is an abbreviated version. I wouldn't ask like that. We'll send you to your, we do actually a lot of stuff with the community where, for instance, we'll do at a pizza place, we'll partner with them and we'll get a bunch of gift cards from them. Helps the pizza place. They're happy.
Sure.
And then, hey, we'll send you a $20 gift card to Tortorice's. That's awesome pizza place up by us.
Okay.
Tortorice's Pizza, right? And then we remind them again. We'll send them a note and just say, hey, reminder. Then the next time they're talking insurance, it's just funny. They're just like, oh yeah, $20, Tortorice's.
Yeah.
Go talk to Eric's staff. So we do a lot of I would call that point of sale referrals.
Okay.
Sure.
But yeah, we do get referred a lot of people who are just like, Eric's staff is fantastic, and call them up, see what they can do for you. That's still the best close ratio. We're at like a 50-60% close ratio on referrals.
Yeah.
All other metrics is like 15-20%.
Got it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Why is it so low on the other ones?
Shopping around.
Yeah,
Everyone's looking around.
Time it doesn't.
Eligibility. If you have 3 claims on your home, they're going to be like, hey, look, can't show
Those
you
are the
right
numbers.
now.
Those are the numbers. It's underwriters or whatever, the AI, whatever underwriting it all.
Yeah. The data shows if you have recency of claims, you're going to have more claims in the near future. So, you have problems with eligibility and
You can't. Those are all analytics. You can't cheat those analytics. I mean, they're probably pretty dead on.
No. Even if you were cheating them, you'd be like ripping off the customer or the insurance company.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Both of which is fraud.
Some big problems if you go down that route.
Yeah.
We do
Don't
similar
include that claim. No, you can't do that. Yeah. It's not even possible, but
Yeah, similar stuff too. Like we'll have people like somebody come in. Hey, yeah, you have a construction company, dude. Leave some cards. We'll give that stuff out all the time because people ask us for referrals.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got a guy over here, but so it's good to give business back to people who give you business.
we keep a what do you call it? It's
a Rolodex.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Rolodex, but like a card slot thing.
I
Whatever.
better be on top.
Oh, you're in there for sure.
No other chiropractor.
There are
is
no
in
other
there.
chiropractors in there. Yeah.
No, you've referred me. You've referred me a bunch, man. I appreciate that. Yeah.
One of my staff gave you.
Yeah. She still does.
Yeah.
And Gio Rodriguez still comes.
Yeah,
I mean, good
yeah.
guys, good people, hustlers. They get it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But yeah, so we have the Rolodex, let's call it, of different things. And so somebody asked, we have, we have some compliance things where we're required to give a couple names, but obviously usually the one on top's the one that gets selected. So, Drew's on top.
hook me up,
Make
dog.
sure you got to flip them around. You got to mix them up every once in a while. So.
What, do you have any questions for us or anything that you're dealing with that we can help answer? Or things like that?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly and a plug for the for the podcast. I just anticipate going back and watching other people that you've talked to. I think, dude, you learn so much from other successful people, and so I think that's for me is a takeaway. When you have other people on here, I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna see what they have to say, what they're struggling with, what they're doing well, and implement. And reading books, for example. I mean, I read a ton of books because a lot of things are logical and common sense, but until you have it in front of you, you forget about it, or you never even pops into your mind. And that Dan Martell book, I think that's his name, but is a perfect example, right? It makes perfect sense that for instance, I shouldn't be answering my emails for an hour every day. Why? I can have somebody else answer my emails for me, and then the important ones they can bring to me. Then I gain that hour back that I had answering emails, right? So not avoiding your question, I think I'm going to go back and watch all the other videos and podcasts of people. And that's one of the things on my way to the office. I'll put on a podcast that I think I can benefit from. And so I'll play a podcast, man.
Yeah. No, I'm not one of those guys that watch TV per se. I'll tune in and watch, football or whatever.
Yeah, but you're not turning on Friends.
No, dude. Not
anymore. You're not.
No, when I want to decompress, it's kind of weird because I tell people this all the time. I'm a business owner and entrepreneur 100% of the time, 24 hours. My mind is always going just like yours, always figuring out there's always a problem ahead or how can I get better. So listening to guys that are on Instagram or on Facebook, on YouTube specifically, or going through the podcast, just learning those nuggets, dude. I enjoy watching that. Yeah. Okay. I enjoy watching those guys. So I'm like, fuck, man, these guys are way above me.
Yeah.
Their game is it's just learning from them at a high level. It's dude, what are you going to learn from watching The Simpsons or watching whatever,
It's the same reason that if I choose a book, unless I'm trying to go to bed, I read nonfiction, right?
Sure.
What is fiction going to do for me? It's entertaining at times, yes. I only read it before bed. Why? Because I'm not wasting my time reading a book that's not going to have any advantage.
I do a lot of audiobooks too with that stuff, because just sometimes I'm like, last thing I want to do is look down at something. I've been looking at something all day. But just self-educating, I think what Eric's trying to get to you guys is it just seems odd because we're so used to just turning on the TV at the end of the day and doing this. Yeah. But if you turn on something that's productive and help educate you, the knowledge that you could use from somebody else's failures and successes is going to help propel you. Yeah. And, it doesn't take time, to find a book or to Google, hey, what's the best personal brand books or this and that. Right. Like you can do that. Yeah. You have the time. Okay. Yeah. You make the time. If you don't have the time, make the time. If you're saying that you don't have the time, then
carve it out.
And if you don't have the time, read the book I recommend. And then you'll find the time. That guy's going to have to pay me royalties.
But that's huge, just self-educating. And I think that's one of the reasons, obviously, why we're doing this podcast. Obviously, everyone that we bring on is a high-level successful, business owner, entrepreneur. And the guys that we bring on are guys that are in our group that we have surrounded ourselves with, that we do business with, and that we know are like-minded like us, right? And we're just two Stunads. We're just neighborhood guys, okay? We're just regular guys. We're not the smartest guys, okay? If anything, we're nowhere near the smartest guys, but we put in the work ethic to grind every day and to be the best. Just like Eric was saying, when you have that fire and drive, there's nothing that's going to stop you, whether you think you're going to fail or not, because you're so hungry for success and so hungry to take care of your family or whatever that
you will do anything.
You will do anything. And and then it becomes almost like an addiction. Like, dude, this is fun. It's a game.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to win, and Eric's going to win. He's my boy. He's going to win. Paul's going to win. All these guys are our boys, and we have a great time. Do we not have a great time, dude? Our crew of guys, Brock, you, me, I mean, all the guys we talk to and communicate with, dude, we're all like, in that era of like, how can we give back to people? Because majority of times out there, it's all negativity in the world.
Oh, man, that's the reason I don't watch the news. Have you ever turned on the news and it's all just like negative?
They do have a positive story. It's probably 3.5 seconds, and they save it all with the end.
Correct.
How convenient. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for listening.
And sometimes you guys, you got to understand that the way that you think something should be expressed or communicated is not always the proper way. The way we communicate it is how we communicate with our people, and the way we know gets it done. So there's no sugarcoating. That's not who we are. That's not who Eric is. Yes, on a professional side, we are professional. At the same time, we know the back end, we know the business side, and it's a struggle every day because there's always somebody that's trying to cut you under. Yeah. Right? There's always somebody that's, and I hate to say it, there's always somebody that's trying to fuck you. There's always somebody that's trying to do this, no matter what. So you always got to be on your game, and you got to be 24/7 into it, because that's your life. Yeah. There's no, don't worry about it, I'm going to get paid on Friday. No. I got to pay people on Friday.
Well, there's security in that. That's why those people stay in those jobs. They're like, it's a security.
And there's nothing wrong with
certainty.
But if you're telling yourself, again, we said this on the last show, if you want to have $1 million lifestyle, you cannot have a minimum wage work ethic. It does not coordinate. So I don't want to hear you guys in the comments complaining or bitching that, I did this or did that, because we see those comments, we hear it. We don't have sympathy for you, because we get up every day and we bust our ass no matter what. And we're dealing with problems on the back end that suck. And it's life. But we communicate with guys in our circle that can help us. And we know that just getting up and going every day, we're going to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And so, the lack of drive is something that I want to install with these viewers, because, again, you don't have to be smart. But if you outwork anybody, you will get there.
Yeah. I think that I've heard something like a rocket. Like first off, starting is the hardest part. Yeah. Right? We can all agree there. Starting is probably the hardest part. And I've heard that like a rocket uses 50 or 60% of its fuel to take off. But after that, it starts kind of coasting. It starts working.
So I tell it's funny you say that, because I tell my staff this, the chemistry term, it's called activation energy. So the energy to activate a chemical reaction is much greater than it is to sustain it. Right?
This guy.
Accountant.
Physics level.
Yeah. Should have been a chemist, I guess. But it's like that in sales, right? Like, as you're building your funnel, right? As you're building your funnel, it's painful and it takes time. But once you get over the hump on on building that funnel, it becomes much easier to sustain the funnel. And I think that's similar with entrepreneurship. It's like, all right, once I got the first, agency up and running and had this money in the bank, it got easier to sustain the success. But yeah, the grind for the first, whatever, year, 2, 6, whatever it is to get a business profitable.
But then what's next?
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Well, then you got to be, you got to have the calluses to handle the activation energy again.
Yeah. Because it's like, I tell people this all the
It's
time.
going to be the lowest rated one. They're going to be like, this guy was talking about activation energy.
Yeah. No, it's like...
Not at all.
Nick Saban said it, I don't know what press release when he was coach for Alabama, like every time they win the national championship, they got to go right back down the mountain and do it again.
Yeah.
And that's how it is every day. And then on top of it, every year, like you have a successful year in business, that don't mean nothing because January 1st, it resets. Everybody resets. And so you got to climb that mountain up. And it can be very difficult every year to keep that fire and climb that mountain up. I'll tell you that. And we both know this.
Yeah.
Because you're sometimes like, fuck, man, we did this. It took a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
Like it took a lot
have
of
other
fucking
people
work.
around, like you said, putting yourself around other people who will pick you up when you're kind of in that lull, right? Like if you have people that are really your friends and really care about you, they're going to pick you up.
Right.
Exactly.
So
I want to be friends with you because you're going to call me out on my bullshit. You're going to tell me truly, Drew, you're being a dick, you're fucking up, you're being lazy. And that's
You need people like that.
I need somebody like that.
You need
and
someone
I
like
want to
that.
be surrounded. I don't want to be surrounded by people that are going to sugarcoat me and bullshit me.
Fluff.
Because you're not going to get better. And you don't have to say it in a negative, vulgar way, but I want to have my guys or my people around me that are going to care about me to a sense or say, hey man, you know what? You could have handled this better. And I'm telling you this because I love you and because we want to win.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure I can do that on the opposite end for people.
Yeah.
In a way where, again, we can help each other, motivate each other, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, guys. When you think you're this big entrepreneur or whatever, you're successful, it's nothing. It's no sunshine and rainbows. But just like Joe Rogan, or not Joe Rogan, but Dana White saying, dude, if you outwork anybody, you will win, especially now with the society that we have. So, but yeah, man, I mean, thank you for being on the show. I don't have any more questions, but it's been an honor to have you. And I truly look forward to when we have your second episode, we can see where you're at with some real estate stuff, your third office, and anything like that. If there's anything that we can do to help, just let us know. We're here to help. And we'll leave all of Eric's contact information down below in the description. If you guys want to learn more about whether it is, again,
Track Hub, that's the big one. That's that can help a ton of businesses, I think, in the future with the day-to-day operations of attendance and time and communication with your team. Like that's gonna, I think, it'll be a huge business. I obviously I put a lot of money into it and time and effort to build it. So I'll plug myself, but if anyone out there is interested, we're gonna launch January 1st with the app.
Nice.
2026.
We have a lot
January
of
1st.
people who are we're kind of pre-selling, talking to, and they're like, oh my gosh, if it can do that, sign me up. I don't care what it costs, almost type of thing. So, we'll
leave all of Eric's information below. Even if you don't have a question about that stuff that we talked about and you want to just pick his brain, he's here to help, man. He wants to help people win. That's why he's on the show. We're not paying him. He's here to win, help all you guys win. But again, if you like the show, if you didn't like the show, the only fee that we charge is that you share the show. Please like and subscribe. We want you guys to win, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.